Hey, it's the Bennington Show on a Thursday. Bennington Show is the only father-daughter radio show in the history of radio. Check it out in the Guinness Book of World Records. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
And I am Ron Bennington. We're going to jump into this today because, God damn it, it's America and there's a million things going on. I'm going to just give you the three stories that I think are the funnest ones to talk about. First of all, we have the actual answer of whether it's Yanny or Laurel. The Hilary Duff going online to bully a neighbor and asking her followers what she should do about this weed smoker. And then there's the guy in Midtown Manhattan who they caught online just berating people for speaking Spanish. You know what? There's one more too that I like, and that's kind of a blind item. Supposedly, this guy who said he was a comedian was on a plane, and he's sitting next to a woman, and then he had texted in a way that she could see that he was sitting next to a smelly fatty, and that. Chris, that makes you part of the problem. Smelly fatty, she was crying, and then a guy next to her stuck up for her. So right off the bat, Vito, what jumps out at you?
The smelly fatty jumps out at me because
Hold on, I don't want to because you got to let other people vote.
Okay.
This would be like if we went to the voting booth and I'd be like, I'm voting for Richard Nixon. Why? Because this country, and they're like, no, just put
please.
Just put, what the? Just a cavalcade of comics walking by. Chris, what do you vote for?
Racist.
Really? Over Smelly Fatty?
I love
the one that made you laugh. Gail?
I hate to agree with you.
Yeah.
But I'm going Midtown Racist.
All right, let's open it up with Midtown Racist then.
Midtown Racist, here he comes. Doo-dah, doo-dah.
All right, so let's just play a little bit of him right off the bat.
Clients at your staff is speaking Spanish to customers when they should be speaking
very violent. I mean, sometimes they do.
Every person I listen to, he spoke it, she's speaking it, is America.
It is America. He's extremely ignorant.
That's fucked up.
He's very ignorant. And he shouldn't be allowed.
I will be following up. And my guess is they're not documented. So my next call is to ICE to have each one of them kicked out of my country. If they have the balls to come here and live off of my money, I pay for their welfare, I pay for their ability to be here. The least they can do is
Their welfare? Such an ignorant
you say we're running a place in Midtown Manhattan, your staff should be speaking English, not Spanish.
Because of people like you, our nation
Honey, I'm calling ICE.
Call ICE. So that they can speak.
Maybe you shouldn't eat that sandwich today. Take a break from the food.
Maybe you should get hit by a car, you piece of shit.
All right, so first of all, these were Spanish people speaking Spanish to each other.
Yes.
Not saying to an English person, speak Spanish.
Right. These are Spanish people at work speaking the same language, and this dude had a fucking meltdown, which to me, okay, yes, he's in Midtown Manhattan, and like there are certain types who work in Midtown Manhattan, but still, you are the invasive species to us. Like, you're the one who's come here from Jersey or Long Island or wherever, or you moved from wherever, and you come to this city, and now you're saying, my rule is people don't speak other languages. That happens here.
Well, here's the other thing. They've already outed this guy, and he's a lawyer. And on his website, they put in that we speak Espanol.
Also, I like that he's screaming like, I pay for you guys to be here. I pay for your welfare. You just said they're at work. They're working their jobs. What are you talking about?
And then you think you could take a picture of them and send it to ICE? So ICE is going to come in because they see some brown people?
Is ICE on your favorites? Like, he's just like sending this to ICE right now.
Why is he so fucking angry? You're already a lawyer, dude.
Now, here's the thing. So just this morning, I saw that they did further investigation. They found out who this guy is, but they also found that somebody else uploaded a video of him in October. And this circumstance is even stranger because the person he's accusing someone of being a foreigner, and he's talking to a white guy with a beard out of nowhere. This guy is never not thinking about this.
All right, let's watch a little bit of this.
What country are you from?
Who are you?
I'm gonna call the police. You don't run into people. I'm a citizen here. You're not. You're an ugly fucking foreigner. So fuck you.
I don't know this guy at all. I don't know this guy at all.
I'm gonna get a quick picture.
Don't worry, dude. I've got you on video.
Not allowed to walk on the wrong side of the street.
This guy literally just ran into me and is going crazy.
I thought he was a friend of yours.
I thought he was a friend of yours. That's the craziest thing I've seen. He literally held up his bag, shoved it into me, and then proceeded to like flip out.
That's a mentally ill person.
This guy's lost it. So this guy's walking around the city just thinking like foreigners, foreigners, foreigners. He sees a guy with a beard, and I think he's confused about his race.
I think the guy had a soccer shirt on, and there was a man bun. He does kind of have a Euro look about him, if I'm to be honest. But see, here's the thing. This is the city also attracts a great amount of tourists. Billions and billions of dollars a year come from around the world. So you are going to run into foreigners.
Yeah.
It's like working at Disney World and being like, who are these foreigners here?
Right. And by the way, that is something that helps us. And you know what I mean? Like the tourism helps us financially.
I'm going to back him up. This guy kind of looks Greek. If I was going to say,
he lives in New York. He was born in Massachusetts.
Still.
He just has a beard.
I bet if you check back 1 or 2 generations, you're going to see some Greeks there.
The best is the two of them are looking at each other like, is this a friend of yours? Like they thought they were being punked or something.
Right.
They were like, this is so strange that this guy purposely bumps into us and starts screaming that you're an ugly foreigner.
But this guy's got, do we agree that that's a mental problem? There's some kind of a fucking paranoia, insanity in his poor life.
Right. Like you're still dealing with racism, but now you're talking about something on a different level. Like it's not like, hey, he got triggered by something and then his true racist self came out when he started to yell. It's like this guy's mentally ill and he's just thinking like this
Full-time
all
racist.
the time. Just like, oh my God, foreigners. Oh my God, people that call ICE.
And they're like, yeah, ICE is like this. Who's bothering you today, Kirby? Saw some foreigners, did you? And they were in New York City? Hispanics. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, that's just that's a fucking guy who's I mean, somebody in his family or that works with him has got to know.
Yeah,
he's fucking losing his shit.
He actually needs help. Like, I think that he needs help, like, because he's a danger to himself.
I mean, you ever see how, like, we have a fucking school shooting and they're like, how did everybody not see this was coming? This looks like the kind of fucking guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
He's just a tiny little thing. He's going to get his ass beat. Looks like a fucking chihuahua himself. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't fucking get it.
No, it's such a. I mean, it's a mental illness.
Look how the guy, the fake foreigner, is just laughing. Like, this is fucking great.
I mean, like, I think that screenshot right there is the part of being white that is particularly easy and fun. Is that like you're like, oh, like you can't hurt my feelings. I just happen to be white.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're crazy. Okay, have a good day.
Yeah,
like,
that is true.
That's what we get to do when somebody acts like that.
No, unless you're in Harlem, and then you're like, hey, come on, everybody. What a fucking. All right, hey Matt, what's up, buddy?
Hey, I just wanted to let you guys know there's another video of this guy out there too, freaking out at a demonstration.
All right, so he just goes around places to get freaked out. Now, wouldn't this would be the weirdest thing? What if you saw this and it was your lawyer and he was handling the case for you? You get in there and the jury has just got like Puerto Rican people, a couple Dominicans. You're like, Your Honor, can I approach the bench? Please. How do you approach the bench? Is that okay?
Please let me approach. I've got a big problem. Crazy.
I woke up this morning with a case of the Chris Stanleys.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That probably means your cold is moving on out.
I don't know.
That's always my last phase.
What's that? The coughing?
Yeah, I get sore throat, stuffy nose, and then into final stages cough.
Chris has had the final stages for the last.
He's in his final stage, I'm afraid.
Chris, your thing is connected to mine somehow over here too. Like a fucking. It's like 2001 Space Oddity where all the fucking computers are talking to each other.
They're communicating.
Hey, Richard, what's up, buddy?
Hey, this guy would completely lose his mind in Miami because, the store owners won't even speak English to you.
Well, it's not that they won't. Some of them can't. They really are immigrants. I lived in Plantation, and most of that mall, and it's pretty far from downtown Miami, spoke Hispanic.
Yeah.
I remember looking for sunglasses. I was just pointing. Those sunglasses. Sunglacios.
But maybe it's because I've lived there. I've lived in New York. When I find myself in certain neighborhoods that I know, like, oh, it's predominantly foreign in this neighborhood, it doesn't bother me because I feel like I've traveled to their space.
Well,
like, I used to live in Greenpoint and everyone spoke Polish there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you kind of had to figure your way around. If you were, like, going to the grocery store, I just was like, oh, yeah, I'm in a Polish neighborhood.
When I'm in a restaurant that speaks a different language, I love it because I don't have to hear what stupid things people are saying. It all just sounds fantastic and romantic. And I'm just like, oh.
These people are smart.
Yeah, what a wonderful place I am. But then if I hear people what they're actually saying,
right?
Ugh. Yeah, I'd much rather not understand anybody. All right, so you got this guy again at a protest.
Yeah, these are two more protests he's at.
I can't just watch him all day, Chris.
You don't stand Why?
You are not. Why are you so upset with him?
Because
he's pretending to be Jewish. He's making everybody else think that's what Jews think. That he's faking his Judaism. He already told me he's not Jewish. Of course he's not. He told who he's not Jewish.
All right, stop it, Chris. So you have to have some context. This is a pro-Palestinian thing that they showed up to let people know that they're not really Jews. So it's some Jewish people that are protesting for the Palestinians, and then he's showing up to say, you're not really a Jew then. This guy, every day of his life, he's just got some shit going on right now.
It's the fire that really keeps him going, I think.
know.
He needs this.
Just if he had a hobby that, this was a little more positive, he'd be doing great in life.
Now, this is him at a pro-Hispanic march in New York City.
What he's saying is making a fucking example. What are you doing? Anyway, you're just angry. You're just angry. The minute you try to go to a baby, you fucking
At least he has friends.
Yeah, he's got a friend.
Yes, you do. I'm winning it right there. You're losing.
I'm winning and you're losing.
And he's in office and you're not. If you live here, you should have a building taller than that.
All right, just turn it up.
Oh my
It's
God, look
just
at him. He's
so-
nuts.
It's so
He's
annoying.
nuts. He's winning at life, though.
Yeah, he is winning. I'll give him that. So I guess they do this thing now, like when you're fucking online and you're acting up like this, they gave out his actual name and people are giving bad yelps to his law firm. You're just like, how is this making anything any better? You know what I mean? We're all as nuts as this guy now.
I don't know. I really
Is that him with a bullhorn?
This guy's like a danger.
You think so?
I think he's a danger, even if it's just to himself. I mean, he's going to get himself knocked out.
Oh, what's his business?
It might help.
Seems like. Well, I'll tell you this. I mean, I hope he gets his own fucking TV show on Sinclair, the new Sinclair station. Everybody's so fucking furious every day.
I know. I mean, if you just think, what is like something you're really passionate about? Would you be passionate enough to scream at a salad bar? You know what I mean? Like he's
I'm
like
in and out as fast as I can, and everywhere I go.
like. I mean, what's like something you could be feeling really strongly about? You still probably would be like, oh boy, that sucks. Well, I'm gonna get my salad and go.
Well, they said that thing the other day that some teacher was drowning raccoons in front of his class.
Wait, what?
I guess there was raccoons that were coming around too much, so he just filled up the fucking a fucking trash bin and shut the lid on them. And then one of the kids went home crying to their mom about it. But you can't get driven crazy by raccoons. They don't seem that cute to you anymore after there's 20 of them.
With those hands.
Yeah, there's little hands.
So cute.
Apparently, the raccoon killed like another animal in the class, and this is him.
It wasn't in that they were raising chickens. It was a fucking weird, it was a whole weird setup that they had. Look, we got fucking volcanoes blowing up. I mean, if this isn't the end times, folks, I don't know what is. I don't want to be around for the end if this isn't it.
That doesn't look normal.
No.
That looks really bad. It seems to get worse by the day.
Oh, it is. It's definitely getting worse. But they said that this couldn't burn more than 1,000 years.
Oh, good.
They said they showed some dudes just golfing, not that far from it. And people that golf are always like it's nature, Well, you got nature blowing up right next to you, and you're hitting a little white ball and then chasing it.
It's so well manicured here.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you really loved golf, miniature golf should be able to fucking just end anything that you care about. There's that picture.
Holy shit, that's hilarious.
That's like one of the best pictures I've ever seen.
Oh my God.
There's people, like he's fucking driving, and there's people behind him screaming.
It's just like an analogy for 2018 in general. It's like, just keep golfing and enjoying myself.
You fucking Spanish prick.
Okay, this is Ice right now. I'm on the phone with Ice.
Hello, Ice. Ice, baby. I'll tell you, he's making everybody stop, hesitate, and listen. They don't even want to fucking deal with him right now. I just feel like melting down is the new way to be. It's the new fucking normal. Now, I saw a thing the other day that I forget what the percentage was. Maybe it was 10% or even higher. I think this is up on the iBang of people who don't spend any time outside. So when I first saw it, I go, that's impossible. But then when I start to think about it, all right, if you're going from your home into your car to work, back home, to the mall, before you know it, you're only like 5 or 10 minutes a day outside.
Yeah, that's really creepy to think 25%. That's a way bigger number than I would have thought people would say. I really don't spend any
I honestly thought it was going to be closer to 90%. Like, check with Chris. How much time do you honestly spend outside?
Probably 2 hours a day, maybe max. That's it. That's with smoke breaks and like walking.
Smoke breaks will get you a little more fucking air. That's true. Smoke breaks are good for nature. What about you, Vito?
I just bike to work. That's the most outside.
All right, well, that's
time
a lot.
I get.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Well, you guys are doing a lot. All right. End of this conversation. We move on to the next.
That's also like New Yorkers, though. Because I think that because most of us get around by walking, we probably spend more time outside than most people.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt that we are like in the elements more than most people. Most people, and I've been in that fucking place plenty of times in my life, where I'm just like, I'm not doing anything for a while. This is fucking fine right here. Got a television.
I'll tell you this, my winter numbers are way worse than my summer numbers.
Well, anyone who stays outside in the winter is homeless.
I mean, those numbers are terrible. That's just dog walking.
But, when Vito had his breakdown when he tried to get tickets, he and Ian, a big part of it was because he was outside in the elements.
Yeah.
Your body and your mind just isn't used to it.
Like, this is not a temperature I'm used to.
Especially, like, I don't just go sit down outside at the park or anything. So just sitting outside, just with nothing out there, was just fucking bizarre.
Dude, why don't you ever go to a park?
Yeah,
I don't know. It just doesn't interest me. I just don't see the point in just going and sitting in the middle of a park.
Well, I'll tell you.
You mean the beauty?
Why it should interest you? Because we do live in New York, so we don't have access to green things. So it's actually really calming and peaceful to sit around and like breathe in air that isn't coming out of a car.
There's art, and there's music, and there's nature.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Not for
No,
you.
it is
Just
there.
not for me at all. Just I could walk by it. I walk on the outskirts of it sometimes, but going into
I'm going
the
to take
park,
you to the park one day.
You know what?
He just yelled no. Like I was fucking saying, I'm going to take you to the dentist. I'm look at that big spooky tooth that you have in the front of your mouth.
Can I tell you, that kid is saying no, but could you think of somebody who would like a park more? He's like a
He likes
happy
everything.
dog. He would
Everything
be like,
he goes to, he's happy.
He'd be
I've never
running
seen him uncomfortable anywhere.
Chris, do you go to a park ever?
Very. I mean, no. I know. I'm not. I was
He's
going to say
not
very.
allowed What about with your girlfriend?
That's the only since I started dating her. Yeah, sometimes we'll go to Prospect Park in Brooklyn.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the park.
That's what you
It's a
do.
big, beautiful park.
But before that, no, I hadn't been in the park.
Yeah, but do you enjoy it with her?
Yeah, I like walking through the park. with her,
Okay,
yeah.
that's the
that's what
fucking
we're
point.
talking
You don't have
about.
to fucking fight that up. I understand you don't want to look like this fucking lonely weirdo Vito walking around by himself. Yeah, it's just it's madness right now, isn't it?
Yeah,
These
everything.
are like fucking crazy times.
Well, it's the best of times and the worst of times, but not so much the best.
When you lived in Florida, we probably spent less time outside then.
I know.
Because the summer was so fucking unbearable. It was AC to AC. It was like tag.
Yeah, you couldn't spend too much time. I definitely now living in New York spend way much more time outside.
I have a like a scuba thing, but it just shoots AC. I'm gonna take it on Shark Tank. You just put it in your mouth and shoot some AC down in your body, cooling you off.
Oh my god, that's such a good idea.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Now the only problem is I'm like testing it right now, and 3 people died.
Oh,
no, hold on. 2 from natural causes, and 1 was hit by a truck, which I also consider a natural cause. Bum, 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 bum. All right, so the Yanny and Laurel is in. Everybody here, did you hear Yanny or Laurel? Vito, you were a Yanny person, right?
Yes.
And so was Jen. Chris, you were both?
I was Laurel.
You were
yeah,
Laurel?
Jen was Laurel, and I am Yanny.
Well, here's the thing. They said, we went through all that. Oh, they're playing 2 at the same time, and some people can't hear the high. No. It's just a tape from an encyclopedia that says Laurel. Laurel.
So I don't understand why. So why am I hearing yet? No, it's got to be playing Yanny.
No, it isn't. It's Laurel.
And as well as Laurel, and I just can't hear the
Well,
Laurel.
here's the thing. There is a Laurel in the world to be part of this encyclopedia. There is no Yanny. That doesn't exist on our planet.
But why am I hearing this? What's wrong with me?
Maybe you don't pay attention or you don't focus. You have one of those ADD things. You might be drunk
This could
or
be.
high on marijuana. Some kind of marijuana strain that makes you hear weird.
That makes me feel so strange because I liked the theory so much better that it was just like, oh, you guys have bad ears and you just can't
Sure.
hear the Yanny that we hear.
Yeah, that made you feel superior.
Not I'm mentally ill.
Well, not necessarily. Maybe you're on Oxycontin.
I'm not. I'm
That
a
seems
child.
to be a big fucking problem in this country right now, Oxycontin.
It's bad for babies.
People are taking it, and some people are taking it because their ankle hurts, and then they get addicted to it.
Some people just take it because they want to hear Yanny.
I just want to give out a shout out to all my heroes at the methadone clinic. You know what I'm the Bible about. Tom, what's up?
Hey, Ronnie D. It's really weird. Yesterday when I was listening to you guys, I was hearing Laurel. On the way home from work, I had my window open in my truck, and I was hearing Yanny on on Fox News, and then when I parked, it went back to Laurel.
All right, so the wind went into your ear and fucked you up.
Yeah, it was really strange because the whole time I was like you hearing Laurel when you guys were doing it. And then on the way home, doing about 55 miles an hour with the window open, I was hearing Yanny. It fucked me up. And then as soon as I parked in my driveway, they were doing it again, and I was hearing Laurel when I wasn't moving.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well,
there's something wrong with me. I'm actually concerned.
You should be.
I thought it was just like, I thought it was going to be like blue dress, gold dress fun, where it's just like, hey, people are different, right? Not some people are nuts.
Some people just aren't good at hearing stuff like the rest of us.
Thought I was.
I'm like a Native American. I'll put my ear to the ground and I'll know exactly where the herd is. I can hear the herd moving. When I was a kid, they used to say, put your ear on the train track thing and you could hear the train. And now I'm thinking, we were just laying there like little kids with our ears on the fucking train track, waiting to have our fucking heads cut off.
That's not good.
After me saying to my mom, no, I'm not going to go anywhere near the track.
Oh, definitely not. That sounds dangerous.
Mom, please, you're speaking to the choir now. I am no way going to go down there. There's train bumps. So a lot of people are some kind of insanity that they have. I'm going to guess that either a worm or some kind of insect has chewed into your eardrum where you can't hear Laurel I'm going down to Yanny. It's a dirty, stinking town now. What was that guy's name? Meet me in the middle of the day. Let me hear you say. He was one of the guys that was going to be the next Dylan. There's always a next Dylan.
I can't remember who that is.
Michael in Houston.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? Long time listener, first time I've called.
Okay.
I wanted to kind of get in on the Yanny Laurel thing.
Sure.
I thought I was crazy as well. Yesterday morning, me and my mom having coffee. We're watching Good Morning America. They play it. I heard Yanny every time. Me and my mom argued about it for like 10, 15 minutes. She heard Laurel. In the afternoon, later in the day, I heard it again, and I heard Laurel the whole time.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah,
I'm back. I guess I went from crazy to not crazy.
Yeah.
See, that makes me want to be able to hear Laurel now. Now I just thought, hey, look, that's just me. I'm just born a Yanny. That's who I am.
Why don't you check into a rehab where they'll take a good look at your ears?
I need to.
Why don't you do one of those things where they light a fire in a tube near your ear?
Oh, yeah, an ear candle.
Yeah,
Those
ear
feel
candle.
great.
I had one of those for my birthday.
Did you make a wish?
How about how with Birdie, if there's a birthday cake, Birdie goes walking out with it.
She gets really excited. She feels like she has to help present it because she wants to walk along the person who's bringing the cake out, and then she jumps up.
Why does she like birthday cakes so
I don't know, and she loves the birthday song. Like, it really gets her really excited.
Remember you had a little cousin that used to cry when he heard the birthday song? It was too sad for him?
Yeah, it was like too sentimental. So instead of singing that, just because they didn't want to make him cry, anytime for his birthday, they would sing, "For he's a jolly good fellow." That wasn't so sad.
Tim in Florida.
Hey, Ronnie, just want to let you know that artist you were talking about, the new Dylan back in the early 80s, his name was Steve Forbett.
Little Stevie Orbit. Steve Forbett.
Forbett.
Yes, but they would call him Little Stevie Orbit as I don't know, was it a mean thing that they were doing? But he had a song like Going Down to Laurel, and it didn't become a hit because people were hearing it as Going Down to Yanny. Tim, despite you not knowing Little Stevie Orbit, I'm going to send you into the Pretty Good Prize Closet.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. Skip.
Yo, Bennington.
Hey, buddy.
What's up? I have no idea what the fuck you guys are talking about, but I just wanted to say I love when people don't speak English. You don't have to hear what the fuck they're yammering about. If they sit next to you at Starbucks, you can actually get some work done instead of just fuming over the fact that you just hate their guts.
Well, out of
everything that's coming out of their mouth.
I go to French restaurants all the time, and there's always French people here because we're in New York City, and I'm just like, it's so lovely. such you can hear like the sweetness of the language without knowing if they're saying stupid things or racist things or getting a fact wrong, and that fucking destroys me more than anything.
I hate hearing somebody say a fact, and then you're like, I don't want to act like I'm eavesdropping, but I really want to correct you.
To me, that's worse than racism. You know, I could put up with a racist more than I could put up with somebody going, the Pittsburgh Steelers never won a Super Bowl. Never. I'm just like, well, I don't want to fucking jump in here, but your dad's a dick, kids.
I remember that there was a family sitting behind me at a show once, and the dad was explaining something, and he was saying, like, you know, with Leonard Skinner, like their plane went down, and he's like, and then they almost died, and then the drummer survived, and he has one arm, and he still plays to this day.
God.
And I'm sitting there like, no, that's the wrong band. It was driving me so nuts.
Def Leppard, you fucking idiot.
You're combining two stories into one. It made me so mad.
They're doing that last time to see Leonard Skinner tour, and I don't know if anybody from Leonard Skinner is on that fucking tour.
Yeah.
No one that was in the famous band pre-crash. But still, I don't care who plays Freebird.
I want to hear it.
Gonna fly. I don't know. I guess that'll be it. I guess that's the end of the Freebird.
Yeah.
Too bad. Hey, Martin. Martin, what's up?
Hey, I'm going to help Gail hear Laurel.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Work with me. Two things you got to do, Gail, is one, believe that you're going to hear Laurel.
Okay.
And the second is if everyone joins in with the recording and says Laurel as they hear Laurel, you'll hear it.
This is why it's great to have a family therapist. All right.
This is really good. I really like this experiment.
Now, do you believe that you're going to hear Laurel?
I now believe that I have the ability to hear Laurel.
Even give up your ability to a higher power.
I'm going
Let
to.
the higher power hear it. Ready? And we're all going to say Laurel along when we hear Laurel, so Gail can be part of it. Ready? Go. Laurel. 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 Laurel.
Oh, I can't.
Laurel.
I can't hear it, and I believe so much. I believe so much, and instead I just hear Yanny, Yanny,
Wait,
Yanny.
What do you hear me saying now? Laurel.
Laurel.
Yes, you got it.
I did it.
Yes. Laurel.
I really did believe in myself.
Judy. You're on the Bennington Show.
Hi, Ron. Hi, Gail. Hi, Vito. Hi, Chris. I just was calling in to weigh in on the Yanny Laurel thing.
Please do.
Gail, you're not crazy. I heard Yanny also.
Oh, this lunatic agrees with you.
Many times, and I still heard Yanny. My husband came home from a business trip. I played it for him. He heard Laurel. So anyway, on the internet last night, they had this scale that you could move with your finger that changes the decibels on what you're hearing, and you can mark like from 1 to 10 where you start hearing the other word. And supposedly today they're coming out with information of what that means. So I just wanted you to know, Gail, you're not crazy, because I'm hearing the same thing.
But it still makes me feel like I have to modify the audio to hear it. Like, I still just wish I could do it with my natural ears.
Just know
and
that.
brain.
Oh, look, Tom Cruise has dyslexia too, and look at him. He's on a mission impossible.
Yeah, but he's the nut too.
This is modifying the decibel range of the sound.
All right, Judy, let's play this. At Christmas, who brings presents to the children?
I do.
Okay, see? There you go. She thinks she's Santa Claus. Thank you, honey. Bye-bye. I mean, that's fat shit for a grown woman to think that she's Santa Claus. Cause I'm as free as a bird now. doesn't want to bother people with this, but we're doing an unmasked with Tom Papa.
Yes.
I like it when you call me Tom Papa. So just go to the ibang.com, for your chance to get chiclets.
No.
There's free chiclets to see this. And I believe Tom Papa is doing a book signing.
That is true. And it's free tickets. There will be no chiclets unless you bring your own.
It's June 5th, Tuesday, June 5th at 6 p.m. at the Village Underground here in New York City. Go to theinterrobang.com for free tickets.
He likes the Village Underground. I like the Fat Black Pussycat. I thought that's where we were booking it.
Oh, yeah.
I love that room.
Both good rooms. But that Fat Black Pussycat is like, it's so funky.
I do like funk. I like to say we want the funk. Gotta have that funk. But Chris, stop trying to keep this to yourself. And you know what, Vito, you be the plug guy. You be the big ticket guy.
I'll be the Tom Papa guy.
All right, you're on it after this. Vito did a story. It's up on the iBank about the drunkest city in the United States. What would you think it was, Gail, off the top of your head?
Just off the top of my head, I'm going to guess Boston, Massachusetts.
It's a heavy drinking town.
Yeah.
Not even in the top 25.
What?
Yeah. I would have thought New Orleans.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Not in the top 25. I kind of would have thought chicken in the car won't go Chicago.
Yeah.
I see a lot of drunk people.
It seems like they need it for warmth.
It's also the drunkest baseball park I've ever been. Like when you're baseball, everyone's pretty fucking drunk.
It seems like such a beer town. I can't imagine.
Not in the top 25.
All right. Can I just guess?
Yeah.
Is it something like touristy, like Miami?
No.
Or
These are hardcore locals drinking hardcore. These are big drinkers drinking big. And I'm going to tell you this. It comes down to 2 states just about. Am I correct when I say that, Vito?
Yes, you are.
Now, when I looked at this, I thought it made more sense than I would have thought. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like immediately I was thinking party town, we're going to party down, the way Mr. Glenn Fry, the late, great Glenn Fry tried to make an 80s comeback with Party Town. Not true. These are people that need their alcohol to make it through the day. Okay?
Oh my God. So was that my instinct northern correct?
Well, that's obviously correct. Although Key West is an incredibly drunk town.
I was thinking like Miami, Key West. Like I'm just trying to think of the places I've seen the most public drunkenness.
Is it Cleveland? That seems like a town that drinks.
Cleveland.
Cleveland does not drink at all. Cleveland is basically a teetotaling town. People in Cleveland are like this. It's time for our afternoon tea. And they seep their tea. You know what I mean? They seep it. Or sepia, as it's known. But people, the thing about drinking is people love to be drunk and they love to get drunk. And that's what I would say if I was doing a beer fucking commercial. I'd be like, you don't want to live in reality, do you? You want a beer high. A big stone beer high. Ryan in Minnesota. Ryan, what do you got, buddy?
That's got to be Madison, Wisconsin.
It is, in fact, Madison, Wisconsin, a drunk-ass town doing drunk-ass things.
Holy shit.
Madison loves to get fucked up. Now, almost all the top 25 that Vito had. And who put this out, Vito?
This was through USA Today.
All right, so you know it's correct.
Definitely.
Because they've got color photos. Most of the towns were in Wisconsin or Minnesota.
That is so weird. I was not thinking like that. I was thinking like big city town. Also, Madison, I thought, I don't know. I've never been to Madison, but I feel like I have an idea of it, and I didn't think it was going to be drunk.
No, they get fucked up. I was there with a carnival when I was a kid, and we were staying in this old fucking hotel that was, you know it's old because it's named after a dead president, and we were above a country bar. and those motherfuckers jihad all night long. Madison gets fucked up everywhere in Wisconsin. Gets very drunk everywhere in Minnesota. Gets very drunk. But I'll tell you this about Madison. When you people talk about your Madison shoes, well, we do a thing called the Madison Blues. It's not thorough okay, it's thorough good. Remember that, folks. Hey, let's go to Nick. The Knights who say Nick. That's you, Nick.
Hey, I'm not for certain, but I spent some time in Montana, and those folks out there, they sure like their booze, beer, whatever you have it. Bozeman or Missoula, Montana, is that on the list?
I would have considered Missoula a big, heavy drinking place. I can't even get Vito to fucking pay attention to the show, let alone keep. This is the thing that you're pitching, Vito?
Yes.
Is Missoula, Montana on it?
It is not on the list.
Chris, you're disagreeing?
It's 7th on the list.
Hey, Vito, I'm going to take you off this fucking thing and just say, if you're not into it, you're not into it. So
I was into
Chris
it.
has it now. Count us down the top 10, Chris.
All right, Lacrosse, Onalaska, Minnesota.
Did you see what he was doing over there?
I heard something.
He
I
went
heard it,
to
but
another desk and started punching it. Hey, Vito, you fucking feeling strong? Is today the day, big boy?
Because I was trying to do the phones and I wasn't paying attention.
Why are you trying to do the phones? You got somebody with you.
Because I was just trying to handle everything at the same time and I just got frustrated.
How about fucking handle one thing at a time? This is your thing. Remember we had the talk yesterday when it's your story, you go with it?
Yes.
Don't go sitting there punching that desk next to that young lady, all right? That's the fucking kind of people they send to HR.
Coming in at number 9 is Wasau, Wisconsin.
I never even heard of that town. I traveled all over Wisconsin.
No, it sounds made up. 8 is Grand Forks, North Dakota, Minnesota.
Yeah, it's all the same fucking gimmick.
Oh my God.
Then Missoula, and then Oshkosh, Neenah, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
It's on stuff. Then Fargo from
So it kind of runs from Wisconsin to North Dakota.
Yeah.
It's
Man.
just a real drinking place.
So weird. I just thought that this was going to be like big celebratory places.
No,
but
no,
this
no.
sounds like
People don't drink because they're happy. People drink because they drink. And this is what I consider the United States Russia, that part of fucking town.
And then and number 4 is Green Bay, 3 Appleton, 2 Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and then 1 is Madison.
Wow.
So Wisconsin takes 4 of the top 5.
I mean, they're dominating in alcoholism.
Yeah.
We're having fun.
No, they're not having fun. If they were having fun, you're like, hey, do you know what a great party town is?
I know. That would be like a stop that people, like, hey, me and my friends are all going to go to this place and we're going to hang because it's so fun.
I think if you were from Wisconsin, you're like, oh, one day I hope to live in Madison. You know what I mean? Because that's where the college is. And
Yeah, that's what like really.
It's a beautiful town. Beautiful.
Yeah. By the way, I've heard about Madison, despite the fact that it's cold there most of the time, they are very outdoorsy and they like built their whole town around like they have like a big bike loop and everyone like
there's like a big lake there. But see, here's the thing. It's like when you go to Montreal in the summer, those people are out all summer.
Yeah.
People that are locked in with winter want to be out all summer.
Yeah.
In Florida, there is no sense of that whatsoever.
You don't appreciate it because you kind of feel like
It's
I
there.
could be outside anytime, so it's not a big deal.
And then I don't. I can be
So I
outside
choose
so much, then I don't. Dave in Chicago.
Hey, you guys were just saying what I was thinking. It was the fact that you're inside all winter long. You got something.
Brilliant, Dave. Brilliant.
Scientist.
Dave has figured it out. I don't know what would be a scientist, Chris.
He's
maybe
just
a
observant.
psychologist. It's not exactly science. They're also very well known for their ice cream in the summer. Because
Madison?
yeah. Well, Wisconsin itself,
Yeah.
because it's, there's a lot of dairy there. And they're like, oh man, this summer I'm going to have a fucking ice cream. Definitely am. Definitely gonna have a big fucking ice cream.
Today's actually the ice cream fling here at Sirius XM.
What are we waiting for? What time is
Starts
it?
at 2:00.
Who's listed here too? All right, I'm one Cherry Garcia.
Okay.
Do we know that they're getting it?
I asked for flavors, and I was told we do not know the flavors until they're on site.
How the fuck do you not know the
No,
flavors?
that
You ordered
doesn't
the
seem
flavors.
crazy.
I
Like
know.
it seems like
It's like if you got a
pick the
wedding
flavors.
cake, you're not gonna fucking get the
We'll
taste
see
it.
what we get.
Yeah.
I need this mystery bullshit. I know the last few years fish food has showed up.
Yeah,
And that makes you happy, right?
I mean, I'm not after it because of the name. I think that the cherry vanilla is the best thing that you could have in the world. And people in Wisconsin would agree with me. But throw little chips of chocolate in there, God damn it, we're on to something, folks. I'd like to give that to that fucking racist guy who's screaming at people.
I know. You know what? That could be a big problem. Is he's eating salads all the time.
He won't like it because it's Garcia. He'll get pissed.
Oh, that's right.
It's true.
Tracy, Travis in Iowa.
Bennington, how you doing?
Hey, man.
Hey.
Hey, I think there's a law there where children, or at least minors for sure, are legally able to drink,
No, there
even in
isn't.
restaurants,
You
if they're with their
cannot.
parents.
Europe.
Yes.
Google, seriously, Google it.
No, we don't have to Google it. It's the United States of America. And children could, they used to let you play with the between 18 and 21. Some places would be 18, some places would be 19, some would be 20. I mean, you get where I'm going with this. Some said that you could drink beer at 18, but you couldn't have whiskey until you were 21. And then the federal government finally said, okay, do whatever you want, but you're not getting any more road money from us. And everybody
We
went
mean
to
21. That's what we meant. We like that number.
Charlie in Wisconsin.
How's it going, fellas and girls?
Hey, what's up?
Congratulations,
Hey,
Gail.
thank you so much.
Yeah, we drink a lot because, it gets pretty cold.
Charlie, I can't
And,
understand you. You're slurring so bad. Promise me that you won't drive today, Charlie.
Well, it's 10 to noon, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is lunchtime. Give me a break. What are you talking
Well,
about?
you don't have to keep drinking whiskey all summer. This cold weather thing, you could take the summer off and just have
Get some air.
yeah, have some mint ice cream.
You could tell by I think Wisconsin's the only state that doesn't have the first DUI is like a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, that is embarrassing.
But
I know a friend of mine never got a DUI and everybody calls him puss. Vito, how you doing now? You settled down? Huh?
He's on the phone.
You stopped punching stuff?
He just swatted.
I'm fine. I was just frustrated at myself, and I'm fine. Just a lapse of judgment.
Which part was a lapse of judgment?
Punching the marble.
The marble.
Now, you know that your mic wasn't on and we all heard it.
Yeah, I thought this was supposed to be soundproof because I thought for a second your mic was on and I looked in there and it totally wasn't. And we could hear you banging in
Vito,
there.
this was your story. You brought it. This was your what?
Chance.
Baby.
Baby.
Yeah.
You dropped the baby, Vito.
Into
drop the baby.
Into the volcano.
And now it's burning. And I had to drag
By
it
the
out.
way, well, if we'll turn around and look at you, Chris. I'm
What?
talking to Vito now. This is Ron and Vito time. When I talk to you, I hear silence.
That's
I
how
don't
you
want
get
you
punched
punching
hard.
the marble so close to Jen.
I'm not going to ever punch the marble again.
Send Jen, bring Jen over to the microphone.
It was very close to her. It was so loud, I thought he took a chair to the glass or something. I mean,
it
I
was
thought it was
idiotic.
very loud.
No, his headphones are stuck in his hair. Jen, first of all, thank you for today's college. Every day she's wearing a different college sweatshirt.
She's well educated.
I don't understand. Every day it's another college sweatshirt.
It's cold.
What were you doing when you heard the pounding? Vito's fucking slamming.
I was just doing my work.
You didn't care?
No.
You didn't think that you were in danger?
No.
All right. I'm going to send this to HR and let them know everything's okay.
You know what that means? That's sad. That means she's used to it.
Oh, that's true.
That's really
That should have
sad.
been alarming.
That should have scared her, and that actually concerns me more than
Sometimes
anything.
daddy punches. All right, here's Elliot in Ohio. Elliot.
Hi, Bennington's a long-time listener. First
long time listener, first time caller today. Hey, it is legal if your parent gives you alcohol that a kid can drink.
In public.
Yeah.
I gotta apologize to that other guy.
So
how is that?
So if your mom or dad, if your mom or dad orders you a drink at a restaurant or a bar, it's fine. It has to be your parental guardian.
Yes.
I find this hard to believe.
Seems really strange.
I mean, they already know that they've got a problem with drinking.
Yeah, just go ahead and pour it right into her baba. I am her mom, so it's fine.
Oh, look. Google is Googling it up. God forbid we should have like a fucking radio way of doing this. No, go and read us to Google. Stop it now. Instead of the people from Wisconsin bringing it up.
31 states allow you to drink.
Learn sarcasm. Here is Chuck in Boston.
There is one place that lets people drink beer at 18, and it's to prevent them from going down to Tijuana. That was a San Diego Navy base.
Well, it does make sense in the military to let people drink if you're going to let them shoot people.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think everyone should probably be. We should be on the same page. That should be a similar number for adulthood.
Well, that's why the drinking age in so many states went to 18 because we were drafting.
Right.
So you could be drafted, go to Vietnam, and come back and couldn't have a drink while you were in your uniform. So they said, "Wow, this is embarrassing." And then that was in the 60s. In the 70s, they stopped the draft, and yet people were still drinking and getting
enjoying
fucked up.
themselves.
Yeah. And I remember saying to a guy, I said, "You're saying that I could do a fucking rail of Coke, but I can't have a drink? That's crazy, my friend."
For my country.
Yeah. I'm here for my country. Watergate. My country, which is Watergate. I'm telling you right now, we cannot trust those North Koreans. Oh, they're crazy.
I mean, they're really nuts.
They seem wishy-washy.
Wishy-washy. They're just outright liars. Look.
Why do they want these bombs?
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have just pulled up.
I'm very excited for them.
You did not have to do that, Chris.
I just looked over and saw him crawling on the ground. I didn't know what that was.
I dropped something. That's what happened. And he didn't need to do that during the show.
He's good.
He's
helpful.
Wonderful. He is.
He's really helpful, and he doesn't punch the marble.
Hey, he's my little man. That's who he is. Right now. That is my little man. I'm going to split a beer with him after the show today.
Chris, you've popped a button there.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's not.
It's normal, right?
All right. So the blind item, and it's up on the iBank today, is this guy supposedly a comedian around the age of 60.
Okay.
All right, so it should be someone that we would know. You know what I mean? Someone who's been around a while. And this guy sat next to this lovely young lady, and then she saw him texting. I'm sitting next to, what was the phrase, Chris?
Smelly fatty.
Sitting next to a smelly fatty. Now, both people on both sides of her saw this, and then the guy said, "Why don't you shut up, stop calling people smelly fatties?" And I gotta shut up this comic. So two things. Number one, I'd love to know who the comic is.
I want to know so badly.
And supposedly Voss swears it's not him. But, I mean, it seems. Now, here's the other thing. Why is she reading his text?
I mean, I think that it is a bit of a violation.
Mm-hmm.
So she shouldn't be. You shouldn't read people's texts. I mean, they're going to say what they're going to say.
No, there's no sense. You shouldn't read people's texts. But also, you should not text where other people can read it.
True. Particularly if you're talking about a person sitting right next to you.
And they're fat and smell. Now, would you have been the guy who stepped in and go, "Do not call this lady"?
No, not at all. Smelly fatty.
If she was crying, I would have had to have done it.
Yeah, I would have said, "Come on, dude, why'd you do that?"
I would have been more like this. Damn you, sir. The moment this plane lands, you and I are walking on the runway. And I challenge you to a duel.
And then I would probably have to say, yes, she has something of a bit of a weight problem, but that doesn't mean that she smells. That's unfair.
Then what if he would have said, then please move your face?
With pleasure. With pleasure, sir.
I find the aroma to be somewhat tantalizing.
Sweeter than I expected.
Intoxicating.
Yes. I find myself just head over heels for this.
Ma'am, do you have diabetes? You smell so sweet.
She called him a hero.
Aw.
She goes, he's my hero now. But why can't we know who this comedian
I want to
was?
just know.
There's only one other detail. He had yellow tinged glasses. And that was a male comedian. There was like his late 50s, possibly early 60s.
It's fucking Mitch Hedberg.
Oh my God.
I thought he was much funnier than that.
Although it is brief, and brevity is the soul of wit.
Check on this, because I think I might know who it is. See if he was wearing a shirt.
Yellow tinged sunglasses.
That's Chris Stanley style.
Yeah.
You're not,
Was
you're
it
not
you?
rocking any of those lately, though, huh?
I got them right here.
Let me see those. As soon as that Vegas movie came out, he went out and got these.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God. Not only is it Yelton, but these things have so many scratches and beat up, you can't even see through them.
Oh. And
It's
like,
almost time for a new pair.
There's like
Almost.
a lot of gunk on it, too.
Yeah.
Like,
Jizz.
oh, it's cloudy.
Looks like you jizz on your own glasses quite a bit. Yeah, that's terrible, Chris. That's no way to go through life. This might be why you're clinically insane.
I can still hear Laurel, though.
But I would love to find out who that person was.
I need to know.
So 50s or early 60s?
Yeah. And glasses. That's the only things we've heard so far.
See where the Nick is Right tour is going around the country.
And it was from Oklahoma to Chicago, the flight.
Oklahoma.
I feel like people could figure that out just on tour dates.
So many. Oh, is that him?
Yes, this is like a blurred out picture of him.
Yeah, put it up here. This guy looks like a fucking psycho. I can't figure him out. Why not just show his picture?
I know.
Yeah, I mean, this lady's already bringing this up.
Is it Martling? I mean, that seems like a
Probably
Martling. I remember when O&A were selling their famous Fatty Pig Fatty T-shirts. Real collectibles.
Mm.
Not Trump, is it? I don't think see him
so.
flying commercial. Bum. All right, the Hilary Duff really fucking annoys me. First of all, this is a smoking building that she lives in, right?
Yes.
And she complains that her neighbor smokes weed and cigarettes. Why are you living in New York City, lady? You're fucking California through and through. You know what I mean? Move to California.
They hate smokers out
They
there.
hate smokers. Move there. That's where your career is. What are you going to do? Theater in New York? Why the fuck are you in New York?
I went to California when I was still a smoker, and I would smoke outside, never obviously inside, because even New York had already passed those laws. So I'd be outside smoking, and I was shocked that random people would come up to me and be like, that's really bad for you. As though that was going to be like the first time I found out that cigarette smoking
thanks for the tip.
Not good for your health.
But she wasn't worried about the other person.
No.
She just fucking hates him. What is she known for? She was a kid actor?
She was like a pop star.
She had like a Disney Channel show called Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah, but then did she do music or no?
They all do music. All those Disney
Gotcha.
kids. So they have preteen careers. Adam, what's up?
Hey, I was thinking that comedian might be Ron White. He does wear those yellow glasses. He's up there around 60.
Yeah, here's the thing about Ron White. He has his own cool bus.
Yeah.
And normally Ron White likes everybody. You know what I mean? Like Ron White is like, he's like a sweetheart of a guy.
He doesn't seem like somebody who would say smelly fatty.
Yeah.
Or was it fatty smelly?
Smelly fatty.
Smelly fatty.
I think he'd be like, hey there, young darling. Hey, Nick, what's up?
Doesn't Gurion have a pair of glasses like that?
Jeffrey Gurion. The thing is, even if he sits in the middle of any row, he has lots of room. Now, I don't think it would be Gurion because he doesn't talk to white women.
Good point. He just doesn't see them.
I've seen people say to Gurions, and I'm throwing up the bunny ears, girlfriends, about they're like, hey man, he's always dating black girls. And I always think to myself, that's the worst thing to say to his date.
Yeah.
Like, you're his type.
Yeah, and also, like, you should never bring up anybody dating anyone before you. You know what I mean? Like, there's just when you're around a friend or someone, and then they have someone new, you never want to be like, yeah, the last person he was saying. It's just like, just don't bring it up. It's like as though you never knew those people.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Well, we all miss Stella. She was great. We got to do a break here, but Chris, you say that we have to do another dish because we took off last week.
Yes, we do. So dish.
Last week was our vacation?
Yes.
Or was it 2 weeks ago?
It was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
All right, because I started to feel crazy.
Yeah, so we have some dish coming up next.
Everyone, let's try to guess what kind of college shirt Jen wears tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm going with USC. I think she's going to come in like the Trojans. I just wanted to tell people something, and this is important. Ring's mission is to make neighborhoods safer. Today, over 1 million people use the amazing Ring video doorbell to help protect their homes. Ring knows home security begins at the front door, but it doesn't end there.
So now they're extending that same level of security to the rest of your home with the Ring Floodlight Cam. Just like Ring's amazing doorbell, Floodlight Cam is a motion-activated camera and floodlight that connects right to your phone with HD video and two-way audio that lets you know the moment anyone steps on your property.
See and speak to visitors. Even set off an alarm right from your phone with Ring's Floodlight Cam. When things go bump in the night, you'll immediately know what it is, whether you're home or away. The Ring Floodlight Cam lets you keep an eye on your home from anywhere.
Ring Floodlight offers the ultimate in home security with high visibility floodlights and a powerful HD camera that puts security in your hands. With Ring, you're always home. Save up to $150 off a Ring of Security kit when you go to ring.com/.
This week's Dish segment is presented by Dish. Switch to Dish to get the same bill every month with a 2-year price guarantee. Dish tuned into you. To learn more and sign up today, call 1-844-CALL-DISH or go to dish.com.
Jen, who do you have with you for today's Let's Dish segment?
Today we have Jim Twos.
Wow, I've never had a welcome like
Cleveland
that.
rocks.
Literally anywhere.
Cleveland rocks. So are you a gossip guy, Jim?
Oh, you know me.
I never know.
I'm always talking.
Yeah.
I'm a total gossip.
All right. Well, I know this weekend is the big wedding, right? The big British wedding.
Yes,
the
royal wedding.
Now the dad was in, then he was out, then he was in, then he was out. Now he's not even coming to the wedding because he had a heart attack during this whole thing.
Yeah.
And now her sister is in the hospital because the paparazzi knocked her over and broke something.
Oh my God. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Broke her ankle.
And then the queen said that family is white trash.
I don't doubt that she would say that.
By the way, do you ever get offended if you hear the term white trash? I know you must get this a lot in Cleveland. White trash.
Yeah, I mean, I get it a lot in my family.
Yeah.
So no, I don't get offended.
No one does. White people never get offended.
Well, that's because it's actually offensive to black people. Because you have to specify, like, hey, it's not just your regular type of trash; it's white trash. Like that's the.
I never took it that way before. But I have never heard that's Asian trash.
True.
You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like, it's only white that gets that. Jen, have you ever called anybody white trash?
No.
If you want to, do it with us. We don't get offended.
It's fine.
Yeah,
It's
throw
all
it at
right.
me. Go ahead.
Is there any stuff that you say about white people? Like when you don't like them? Like, what
Do you
are
have,
those
like,
crackers doing?
Honky, perhaps?
No.
Honky because the way we talk out of our noses?
No.
Whitey?
No. There's no,
Nothing?
Nothing comes to mind.
So
nobody
you've never
nobody
once-
did nobody
Like,
in the
if
family.
you wanna-
Parents never.
Stay away from those. Those
Cockies? I don't know, Caucasians?
Cockies. I like that. Call us cockies. What do you call us? Cops? Is that it? The man?
Peckerwood?
Oh, Chris, that hasn't been used since the 1800s. He's a peckerwood.
Is Peckerwood for white people?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. You only see it in Civil War movies.
Right.
That peckerwood better get out of here.
I thought it was
Like-
prison slang.
Yeah.
It's prison slang too, right?
Well, prison slang, I like their thing with what they call the guards shit eaters. And that always makes me laugh. So, Jen, and I know that not only are people from Trinidad, Tobago, but her family makes Trinidad Tobaggans. So
That's good. I didn't know
it's
that
a
you guys
family
would need them.
Driftwood. They're all made out of driftwood. Jen, tell us the first big story out there today.
Dish it!
So the conservative HLN host S.E. Cupp addressed
like
complaints that the media is too focused on Trump. She told her viewers that if they want to hear less about Trump, then they should move to Canada because there's a reason that the ratings are up in the U.S.
Trump is good TV. He's good for Fox and he's good for MSNBC and CNN, and people love to talk about Trump.
Yeah.
And then she probably gets emails that says, stop talking about Trump so much. But every channel does it. He is, not only is he going to be talked about the whole time that he's president, he's going to be talked about the rest of your life.
Yeah.
There's going to be books, there's going to be movies, there's going to be musicals.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, me too.
Trump the musical.
I think it's going to be good.
But yeah, and everything is going to be seen in that lens. Like everyone's going to be like, well, that was during the Trump era. Like of history,
But also
of
the-
this country, of everything.
It's a
Like,
chapter. It's a real chapter.
Yeah.
Or just a whole new way of doing business that everybody's going to be more Trump-like. You know
right.
what I mean?
So that was the beginning of the
That's what
now
I'm
still
afraid of.
reigning
Look,
Trump era.
I remember the beginning of hip hop when we called that a phase, a trend, a cul-de-sac, and then it just got stronger and stronger and stronger.
Right.
So I think he is the hip hop of politics. I think there's going to be a lot more drop the mic people.
Right.
out there.
And celebrity status and shaking things up and
Professional wrestling.
I don't like I do think that there is, no matter what happens, that no matter who comes next, we've already set this precedent that the president is going to be able to communicate via Twitter with everyone, and I don't think that will change. It might not be as much as he does now, but it'll be like, well, we had all the information from him. We always knew what was on his mind. What's on your mind? Why are you being so cryptic and weird? Even though that's how it was.
It'll
always.
be just the opposite of because Twitter will be gone by then. It'll just be some kind of VR.
It'll move to Instagram.
Yeah, the president will be sitting at the table with you through a hologram, going like, "I'll tell you that crazy bitch," because that is the way that we talk, and it's the way we want other people to talk.
Yes,
and I think that's the thing more than anything else about him that connects with people. Is they think that he talks like a person.
Which is so weird because I don't think he does, and I couldn't think of anyone who was more a kind of a symbol of unrelatability, and yet everyone's like, he's so relatable and he's so down to earth.
Your problem is you don't work in sales. That's the way people in sales talk.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. Did you see the thing that showed up with him about when he did SNL?
No.
It's up on Mediate. But basically, he took a phone call that they claimed didn't ring.
Really?
Yeah. Who told the story? Do you know, Chris?
No, I'm fine.
Pete Davidson.
Thank you. So Pete Davidson said that he just picks up his phone, goes like this, What? That's fantastic. And then put his phone down and said, guys, my book's at number 1.
Oh my God.
I have to try that.
Yeah.
Hang on, I got to take a call.
I got to. What? I'm terrific. Thank you.
It's so crazy. And then everyone just had to be like, well, congrats.
Right. You have to
like
play
you gotta-
along. You can't be like, that didn't ring.
Yeah.
That didn't ring. Can you just, you're
would
going
think
to
they-
make everyone
You
uncomfortable.
think somebody could have said it, though. Just one person would have said nothing.
Oh, it
right.
would have been great.
Yeah. Nick DiPaolo said this story, and he claims it's true because he knows somebody in Billy Joel's band. That back in the 80s, Billy Joel came to rehearsal and said, well, guys, guess who fucked Chrissy Brinkley in the ass last night?
Oh, God.
And Nick swears that that's a true story.
Oh, God.
Guess who has 2 thumbs?
And fuck
Chrissy Brinkley in the ass. Guess who plays piano really well?
You got to admit this about Billy Joel. I mean, he took a small amount of talent and has just ridden that wave all the way into the sunset.
Yeah.
You couldn't do more with what he had than he has. It's amazing. God bless him for it.
And it's never been a Emperor's No Clothes moment where everyone goes, yeah, I don't think so. Everyone's like, he's Billy Joel.
Would you consider yourself an Elton John man or a Billy Joel man?
Elton John man.
Jim.
Billy Joel.
Jen.
If I had to choose, I guess Elton John.
Because of the Trinidad Tobago thing?
I guess.
Vito. Don't pound on stuff. Elton or Billy? Oh, boy. Chris.
Elton John.
Over Billy Joel?
Never a Billy Joel fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Perhaps that you need to hear a little song called Piano Man. Turn you around completely. All right, Jen, give us the next big story. Dish it.
Okay. So Ryan Seacrest
this
was caught making
Out with a boy?
Guess who fucked Christy Brinkley in the ass last night?
Was it you, Billy?
That's just my first guess. Can we do 20 questions?
He was caught making Katy Perry very uncomfortable on live TV during an American Idol commercial break. He didn't know that the cameras were rolling, and then he made a comment saying, your mom's pretty, and then she said, my mom? And he said, it doesn't, well, first, Katy kind of looked at the camera like, we're live right now, and then he said, it doesn't, but you are too, but you're not a mom. And then Katy answered, not yet. And Ryan then responded with, do you not want to talk about it? And that's when Lionel Richie had to step in and kind of look at him like...
I haven't seen one moment of American Idol. Do you watch it?
I don't.
Jen?
I don't watch it.
Does anybody here watch American Idol?
No.
No.
I don't like the way that the chairs don't turn around.
Yeah.
One of my shows, if I'm going to watch a show, I want the chair to turn around.
Yeah, this moment is so cringy.
I didn't even know that these were the judges. So Katy Perry's on the show, and there's Lionel Richie, and who's the other guy?
Apparently, that looks like Chandler.
Luke Bryan, I think.
Chandler Bing. Could you be any better?
Your mom's pretty.
My mom? Well, I hope the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
You are too, but you're not a mom. Yeah.
Not yet.
You want to talk about it?
What?
Don't start. Don't start. Don't start. That was good.
Are we live?
I think we're back.
Are we back?
Yes.
Is this real TV?
Oh, this is it. Oh.
Are we professionals?
That's a show that doesn't care.
Oh my God.
That is a show that doesn't
The
care.
best is Lionel Richie's face when he's just like, you want to talk about it? And Lionel Richie just goes like this. No, dude, don't.
He was the most annoying thing that he was just banging something on the table.
was-
Pen tap.
Yeah.
It's
he
ominous.
was tapping, standing over her and being like, from the way she responds out of nowhere, just saying, your mom's pretty. And she's like, my mom?
It was Mother's Day, right? Is that why he was doing
Yeah,
it?
it was. Yeah.
It's so weird.
Lionel Richie should have said, hello. Was it me you're looking for?
Watch again Lionel Richie's face as he starts to get really, really weird.
I will say this. I'm going to switch out Billy Joel. Lionel Richie has done more with less. The fact that Lionel Richie is still sitting around making millions of dollars, looking exactly the same, I mean, that's fucking scary how 1983 that face is.
He hasn't aged.
No. And I think it's the same jacket. And he's never trimmed his mustache. It's the same fucking thing. And we don't know who the other guy is.
Luke Bryan.
Who's that? Oh,
He's
the wrestler? Is he the yes? Yes. Well, I know things get a little weird on American Idol this season, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, that was he's an awkward guy, man. Seacrest is fucking weird.
He's Seacrest out. All right, dash it.
Dash.
So Jason Statham, he had to apologize for using a homophobic slur on
Which
a movie.
one?
He used the term effing fags. I don't know if I can say that.
Now,
I think you didn't have to pull out. You're allowed to say fucking
Because I didn't know what that another F word would have been. I didn't know how to say that.
She skipped the fucking.
She skipped the fucking, which we're all fine with.
With a sweet hesitation.
Now, who did he call that?
It was to his producing partner, Steve Castman.
Oh, I know that dude. He is. He definitely is.
Does it count if it's accurate?
Yeah.
They got into a heated argument on the set of the 15-flick Wild Card movie.
I think the problem that we have is we haven't had a replacement word that works. You know what I mean? Because it certainly doesn't always mean two guys having sex.
Right. I mean, I never really thought that we replaced with, like, when we would say something is gay when we were kids.
I know.
Like, there really isn't, like, I guess you could say it's lame, but it just, like, still doesn't mean what you want it to
Doesn't
say.
have the impact.
No, it doesn't have the impact.
Like, that word was just taken away from us.
Yeah. Even though that's never been an offensive word. But it's offensive to act like that makes it bad. That's the problem.
But
there.
language is strange because queer used to be that, and then queer got kind of taken over and repurposed, and they ended up liking the word. And so now if you were to say something was queer, they'd be like, well, thank you.
Well, see, here's where queer meant odd, and then it meant gay because we're saying gays are odd.
Right.
And then was back to, no, it's okay.
No, yeah, we are odd, and that's what's great about us.
So if you're saying something's gay, you might be saying it's hip.
Right.
Like, that's so gay. It's like you've taken a black neighborhood and made it trendy.
Dude, that's gay as hell.
Yeah.
I love
Now
it.
it's brightly colored and clean.
I do want to know where the people go when their neighborhood becomes gentrified. What happens to the Dominicans? That's the news documentary I want to follow.
Yeah, they gotta go somewhere.
Yeah.
Further into Queens.
Further, deeper into Queens. They can see the airport. They can see the runway. Children are running around on the runway. So I'm now taking Jason Statham has done more with less than anybody. Each one of these, because I've never thought there was an amazing amount of talent there, and he's had a long career.
He absolutely has.
I call him White Rock. Is that wrong? Is that is that too far? Thank you, Chris. By the way, we're 25 minutes away from the big ice cream social in the lobby. Jim, make sure you get
Wait,
a nice...
was my timing just the best ever?
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's free ice cream, so we all get to know each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Socialize. Except for we never do that part.
Yeah.
We usually
have the
just
ice
have
cream
someone
brought to
bring
us
it
down
to
here.
us, and we don't socialize with anyone.
You go out the back door during lunch. That's, you don't sit at the tables.
No. We think it's queer if you order it. All right, let's dish it.
Dish it!
So Robert Kraft's young girlfriend has debuted her baby girl on social media. He's not the biological father, but he is bringing her up as his own. He put on his Instagram, beautiful little angel who came into our lives.
Oh my God, that's a really cute baby.
Now, he was with her, and then she had a baby with someone else, and he stayed with her.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, I wasn't the one who fucked her, but I did watch the whole time. So I think that's so sweet. Quite frankly, I see it as old-fashioned.
Yeah, I think it is really sweet, and you still have to pay child support.
That's the ultimate stepdad. Right there. I saw the whole thing.
Well, like you said, if someone said, look, this baby doesn't have a home, would you take it? I'd be like, yeah, I will.
Yeah, look at it.
That's
It's a
a
little
very cute
angel baby.
It's a very sweet looking baby.
I mean,
Jen, would you keep a baby if someone just dropped it in here?
I don't
You
know
don't
if I
like
want.
babies?
Yeah, I'm not a children person, so probably not.
So Gail annoying you right
No,
now?
no.
You want her to go hatch your eggs somewhere else?
Cover your tears, Gail.
You don't like, Chris, you don't like children either, right?
No, I do not. No.
You will never have children.
I will never have children. No. And if someone dropped a baby off here, I'd have to call the authorities.
Someone else would call the authorities.
I don't know, 311.
Ice again? Hello, Ice.
Ice.
I've been dropped with an anchor baby.
Get it away from me.
I actually have an anchor baby on my boat. Is that wrong?
No.
I thought that's what they were for. Now, you never want a child.
I would say seeing Gail, it warms me up to it, but just not right now.
Yeah.
Maybe later down the road, but I
You're
feel like
young
it's not
yet.
good for my lifestyle.
No, it's not good for
at
anyone's
all.
life. It suddenly becomes about their lifestyle.
Yeah. Like you, or I'm not going to have a lifestyle. So,
I'll
it's
say
not going to
this.
exist.
You have that baby and your angel dust days are over, my friend. You cannot get dusted.
That's my lifestyle.
You've raved for one last time.
Yeah. I like to get a little knick-knacked at night. So no, definitely no babies for you.
No babies.
Yeah.
None.
And Jen, maybe for you, but not for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask Vito, but I don't know if he's paying attention. Remember when I went back a second time?
I know. That was an unlucky situation.
I can't tell right now whether he's looking at me or through me. I can't tell with him. He's so different. All right, Jen, dish.
So Amy Schumer
Oh,
has said
boy. Here we go. Who did you walk on stage for now?
well, now she's talking about Meghan Markle's wedding and saying that she will have the worst wedding because of all the, the ceremonies and the dignitaries she's going to have to meet.
That's fat shaming, Amy. Isn't that what we're supposed to say? If it's an Amy story, we're supposed to turn on her? Well, you're the one that's the slut. I just go by comment sections of any story about her.
Look,
I would agree it's a terrible thing to be in the royal wedding.
I was going to say that. I mean, I think, to be honest, the bigger the wedding, the more it becomes for everyone. And usually those, the bride and the groom tend to be the least happy people in the room.
It looks like
and they're
work.
and then you, the people you really want to spend time with, you can't see, you can't talk to.
That's how
and
every
you're
wedding is,
Yeah,
though.
you just go around, you give a little wave.
But you know what?
everyone's looking at you.
It's like modeling. Everyone thinks modeling is glamorous, but the closer you get to it, you're like, oh, this is terrible.
Yeah, you think modeling's glamorous until they strap 6-inch heels on you and start taping your tits down.
Yeah, then they move your jaw.
Yeah.
Physically go over and move your head.
And then they're just
Motherfucker.
they're like, we hate your hair like that. And they'll just start cutting their hair without their consent. They do it all the time.
Do they really?
Yes.
Well, it's glamorous.
It's a very glamorous business.
The only weddings that I like are interracial. Because I like to
Make it
see the
interesting
tension.
for all of us.
Yeah, I like to see the tension on people, and I like to see them fake that they're happy. This wedding is when? Is it Saturday?
Yeah. Saturday, yep.
Yeah. And this is the weirdest thing about it, but they're serving ham afterwards. I never expected that. They say there's going to be over 2 tons of ham at this wedding, and then some kind of macaroni salad.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
No menu options.
Yeah.
Just ham.
More ham?
More ham? Please. You know what? I'm pretty full, but put some in my purse. This is what I would do if I was this Marco girl. I would come in a pumpkin, a giant pumpkin, like I was Cinderella. She should come out with a briefcase and then open it up, and it just says that she's won $1 billion. Look what I won, everybody.
No matter what, she's just going to be like, as long as I outdo Kate, I'm fine.
Now, Howie Mandel said that he didn't even remember her
No.
when she was on his TV show. every week for 5 years. So you could see what a big star he is. He's a big star that he doesn't meet everybody that's on the show.
He's like, I don't have time for every briefcase, girl.
Yeah. But I do think that I remember her. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember for her opening a briefcase. When's that show coming back on? Is the baby kicking? Or?
I don't know. It's either that she's all balled up or I'm getting a Braxton Hicks.
Ugh. I don't like that. Is that her?
Yeah, this is her from Dealer.
Look how happy she was. Somebody got $5.
Because that's always
shitty.
because you always it's not shitty. You want the low numbers.
Oh, I thought maybe they won the $5. That's
No, it's low. Remember when they're going low? Make it low, 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 low. Because you want the biggest number to be
Yeah.
the last briefcase. So you want to be
Gail's
so-
right. That is the way the show worked. But you thought that she just got $5. You never watched the show then.
Like he thinks her face is just like you have $5. Oh
I
my
got
god!
more than that right now in my sock. I said I watched that show and I go, that girl's gonna marry into royalty. I definitely think she was.
Predicted that?
I would say to that royal family, because they got mad at her once for wearing a hat or whatever. How'd you go? This royal thing is made up. It's not real.
You guys know that like you weren't chosen by God, right?
You know that you're just regular people like anyone else.
No, we're not.
Now we don't have an understanding of the class system, so they're really weirded out. Not that this is an interracial, and it only is like 1/4 of an interracial marriage, but that she's marrying somebody who's not in the same class. Because we can move, like you could be born poor in this country and move up in the world. Because all we go by is money, nothing else.
Right. That's our value system.
You could
It's
show
right there in
up.
the numbers.
The Beverly Hillbillies, as fucking white trashy as they are, could show up with a basket of money and they're like, right this way.
It has nothing to do with class or education or anything. It's just like money. Did you have so many monies? No.
Do you even think we have an upper class now? Like, Jim, could you think of anyone you're like, that's a very classy family?
Not offhand, but I think like people with family money, it's like if you have generations that are used to being rich, then that becomes that's like American royalty,
right?
Yeah. But we so much more reward like instant wealth and
yeah, we love that. I mean, if you even think of the Rockefellers, I can't even name one now.
Yeah,
you know, in the old. But see, we have like 3 generations of rich families. They have generations that are like 80 generations. You know what I mean? That have held on. We don't expect the family to hold on to money.
I mean,
we expect the grandchildren to be drug addicts.
Usually, our knowledge of when somebody has money is like that they have celebrity, which of course does not always mean like class or anything like that. But the closest I've ever heard to something like that, where I was like, this is a world I'm not even aware of, is a friend of mine was dating a girl who is black and from the South, and they would have these like debutante balls, and they would have like from prominent, educated, wealthy black families who've had money for some time, and then these girls would be there to meet boys who also are, and I was like, that is so weird. We don't even do that in this country.
Well,
it's
we
so
used
peculiar.
to, though. We used to have the Debs in New York City on the Upper East Side, and they would have these coming out parties so good young men could meet good young women.
Right.
But that, you know,
now it's just Tinder.
Yeah, exactly. But look at Bill Gates. He got all that money, but he didn't dress any differently, and he didn't talk any differently. He just has money.
He's just
a dude with money.
Yeah, he can buy more stuff than we can buy.
Yeah. But it doesn't, like it used to be, oh, you've made this money. Now you must learn how to properly eat and ride horses, and you know, you're going to be judged by people. Well, you're going to watch this thing about Jerry Johnson's family. They're incredibly rich. The Cowboys are a family business. And the daughter's like, it's so much pressure. And I'm like, why? You got the money now. You got $4 billion. Should be the exact opposite of pressure. You know what I mean? You should just be like, you put a bunch of weed in the fireplace, you climb up on the roof, you just let the fucking, you just sit there and enjoy your life. Give me enough heroin so I die. Just keep pumping it into me. I'm so rich.
All I want to feel.
You just have to make it last.
Yes,
that's. I mean, that's pressure. But I think making the $500 in your checking account last is a little more pressure than
exactly
than making $4 million last.
It is really true that if you make 6 and you owe 5, you sleep like a baby. But if you make 1,000 and you owe 1,010, your whole life is a fucking wreck.
Yeah.
That's like why I like going around town with cash. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is money that I'm spending right now. I don't feel like this is free. All I do is sign my name.
I know. It's really bad.
Or put my thumb on my phone.
Yes, I cannot treat that as if it's money. I can't.
You know what's one of the worst ones is like seamless in my mind still feels like free food.
Yes.
I'm just like, oh, I don't have anything to cook tonight. I don't feel like going out. Oh, free food. I forgot I can get free food. And I don't think that I'm spending money.
The amount of time that I picked up the bar tab because I had a credit card is more than I bought any goods. I paid way more for services than goods. Dish it.
Dish it.
Come on, bitch. Let's make this happen. Dish!
Ben Affleck's new relationship seems to be falling apart.
No, you're doing so good.
With Matt Damon?
No, with Lindsay. And it's because they're saying that she hates all the attention.
Who's
and
Lindsay?
Lindsay Shookish. She's the SNL producer.
Oh, yeah, I don't blame her. I don't blame her. I wouldn't. You know, that's harder than being thrown into money is being thrown into celebrity.
Yeah, I would not enjoy
Being thrown
that.
into Ben Affleck.
Yeah, Ben Affleck. They've never the paparazzi has never lost interest in him.
No, they really don't. And I agree that would be just too much. If you're just a regular person and then you're like, oh, this seems cool. I can't believe this handsome celebrity is interested in me. 5 minutes later, you're going, no, thank you. This is a terrible situation.
See, she's got the coolness. She's a producer at SNL that brings a lot of cool stuff, but no one's going to be chasing her down the street.
Right. Exactly.
That's the best way to live your life.
She probably is. She probably makes money and she has cool experiences.
Let me see her too. There's no pictures, Chris?
Coming up now.
He's like a stenographer.
I know he really is.
All right, well, she's adorable.
Yeah, she's so pretty.
Her life was great until he came along with that big dragon on his back. That should be
even exceptional enough to put up with all that extra shit.
I think that's what she's decided.
Right, that's what
she
she's
must have
figuring
said
out.
like, oh, you know what? This is not great enough.
There's like 4,000 guys who look like that.
And then, like, how many times, like, do you think, like, Jennifer Lopez is, like, playing on the radio and she just stares at him? It's fucking remind you of some stuff. Just say it. You ate her ass, didn't you? I would.
Just
if I was
looks
you.
out the
So why
window.
don't you just say it? And he's like, it was a long time ago, Leslie. I don't know. He never seems happy, Ben Affleck.
No, I think he's troubled.
No.
He's got the weight of the world on his shoulders.
He really
Look at him
does.
there.
He can't find love.
No, he can't find love.
Look at him. He's like, looks like he's having a very quiet existential crisis in that.
He looks like he roots for the Red Sox.
He's done a lot with a little too.
He has. He's done a lot with a little. Good for him. Good for him.
It's the theme of this dish.
It is the theme of the dish. People that weren't handed a lot, and they're off to the races.
Straight white guys who have done a lot with a little.
I will also say this: you got to throw Meryl Markle as winning this thing. I mean, she was just a girl holding a briefcase with a check in it, and now she's marrying perhaps the craziest of all the royals.
Now, did she get princess status? I know that like there's
She's not
rules
British
with
born, I think.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with that.
She get any title?
You get like
Duchess?
Well, Duchess is
I think she might be a duchess.
because that's what Kate is. She's
Yeah.
the Duchess of Cambridge.
Yeah. But she is not. She's not going to be a princess.
Yeah.
Which hurts.
Yeah,
You know what I
just
mean?
give her the status.
They actually said because she's black. They said, I'll tell you
My
what.
God.
They go, only in that Eddie Murphy movie can you have a black princess. But oddly enough, Ben Affleck has been a prince. He is a prince right now. What's his next big project? Is he doing anything?
I think he's still doing. I think the next another Batman movie.
She's adorable, and she, produces at SNL.
I know. It's time for her to move on. I mean, I support her. This is too much for you.
How many times do you think she's had to do this? Ben, Matt's on the phone for you.
Again?
Yeah.
God, the two of you.
Yeah. What is it? A bromance? All right, dish.
Everybody's at home right now. What are you eating your food on? A dish? Let's get there. Dish it.
Bobby Kelly talking crazy.
Well, there's another breakup story.
No.
Pete Davidson and Cassie David have broken up.
Oh my God.
Is it too many tattoos for Pete?
What if SNL's the problem?
It does seem like it,
Oh my
doesn't it?
God. It's tearing a relationship.
Your weekends aren't free.
Yeah.
Can't sustain a relationship
late
like that.
nights and everything.
Nights?
She's also adorable.
She is very cute.
Well, Pete, you just ruined your chance to be on Curb.
You messed up. What happened? Is it like a bad split?
It seems like a good split. He just said on a podcast, we're not together anymore. She's a very talented girl. She'll be great and she'll be fine. Yeah, I think she'll be okay.
Okay.
Who are these rock stars walking by? I don't even recognize them. But they were the leads.
Was that the Bacon Brothers?
Oh, yes.
That's what it
That was
looked
Kevin
like.
Bacon.
Yeah.
I saw their sign up.
Footloose. Footloose. They never gave up that we got a band. It's like 20 years now.
Yeah. They're still rocking.
All right. Good for them. I hope they could do something for Pete.
Yeah, I know. I would love for them to maybe write a song that could get them back together.
Well, they're so young, right? That's the thing. You know what I mean? That's why I don't expect Chris to stay with his Costa Rican girlfriend.
We're just
How
babies.
much longer you give this? If you had to guess.
If I had to guess, maybe another year before I fuck it up.
Oh my God, that's so sad. I thought you
young?
were really going to say
She's 10.
Oh man.
Yeah, she's 10 years old.
It's not a child.
Yeah.
I thought
But she knows herself real well, you know?
It's a tough time for her because she's going from brownies to Girl Scouts.
so much pressure.
Now, you know that they're not even using the word Boy Scouts anymore?
Just scout?
Just scout.
Yeah, they call
Yeah.
themselves the Scouts now.
Seems weird, right?
Yeah, because I know that they started allowing girls in it, and I had a friend who he lives on the West Coast, but he was saying that his daughter was able to get into the Scouts, and he was very excited because it was just like, look, it's just that like that's what she was interested in. The stuff that they did in the Scouts was more interesting to her than like selling cookies and stuff.
Yeah, but Girl Scouts go camping.
Yeah, but I think that there's like more
Knots?
outdoor activity. Yeah, I don't know.
No, knots are very, very big to them.
Yeah, and knife work. I think.
fire.
Yeah, but Girl Scouts did all that. My mom was a scout leader, and I used to go with them all the time.
I don't know. There was something different. She looked at the two different programs, and she wanted to be a Boy Scout, which is, I guess, now a Scout.
I haven't seen a Boy Scout in forever. I don't even know where they go or what they do.
You don't really see them in the
They're
city.
in the woods a lot. So if you're not there, you're not going to catch
When
them.
I was a Cub Scout, I had signed up for the Scouting magazine, and it was pretty exciting. It would come in every
Boys Life.
Yeah, yes, I got Boys Life. It was very thrilling, and I don't know if that is even still around. But it would be, it'd be a great article about making nuts. You could just okay.
Cool. I can use this to tie stuff.
Yeah.
Great.
And then they would also tell you, like, you were representing America. You wanted to be a good person.
Yeah,
And
it was
stuff
about
that-
citizenship.
Yeah, you can't even talk to kids about that now.
No. But I guess they do like environmental stuff. I think that they teach kids like being good to the environment is kind of their citizenship.
Well, they also give you an app. There's a video game where you go camping on it. And it's kind of
That's
fun.
perfect.
It's VR now.
They get it.
But those scout like tents were already old even back then, and that big thick canvas had a fucking smell that I wish I could smell right now.
Really?
It was a
Musty.
dank musky. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was just like, I feel like I'm gonna pass out.
I've never been camping in my life.
You should do it, man. You should take the baby.
I
mean, you're so close to
I know there's
upstate
great
camping.
But you know what? Here's the thing. My man was a Boy Scout, and his family would go camping. His uncle would take him camping, and his dad. And I think that when you have to do it when you're young, then you're just like, I don't want to do that anymore. So I've said, hey, I've never been camping. You've been camping. Like, we should go camping. And he's like, no, you don't want to go camping.
Dude, we should go camping as a show, and we could broadcast out of there.
I would love it.
Well, you saw how Vito did camping out for SNL tickets. He almost died.
Chris, I take it you've never camped?
No, never. I've never camped.
Jen? No. Slept outdoors? See, this could be a learning experience for the whole show.
You got to go camping and do drugs. That's what you do as adults.
Yes.
That's what camping is for.
Camping and mushrooms.
Camping and mushrooms, exactly.
But see, I don't like the idea if your high goes a little sideways. I like to have some inside things to deal with.
Yeah,
I don't want to feel like I'm in a sleeping bag now. You know?
Don't you want to be like some sort of just place of normalcy, just a touchstone that you're just like, oh, okay, everything's fine in my bedroom, but you're just like, I'm still in the woods, man.
I know.
It's not as much fun to do mushrooms. I've done them in my bedroom, in a hotel room, and in the woods. And the woods was my favorite.
That was
so
your
far.
favorite.
Yeah.
But it was it was
in the woods
terrifying.
at night?
No, during the day.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was scary, but we weren't that far from everything.
I guarantee you that if we went camping, I would actually say this. Well, I'm going to sleep sitting up in the car. I'm just going to sit up in the car and let myself drift off here. But like you're saying, like they make you go camping. That's the only way you go camping when you're a kid.
Right.
Somebody else has to say, we're going camp. See, I always thought that my dad loved to fish and had no money to do it with. Now that I'm older, I'm like, why were we camping instead of a thing? But here's the weird thing, because we went with my family and my aunt's family, and my grandparents and all that. We all went up. So there was like 3 or 4 tents. And I get together with my family, and that's all people talk about. Remember that when we used to go to Canada?
Wow,
Remember
yeah.
how we were tenting? Remember when you wouldn't wake up the day we had to leave and they took the tent down around you? They did. I woke up outside. I was like, I was basically in Meatballs. I would have been Mickey. I always felt for him. When the hand goes up, the mouth goes shut. Dish.
So this week's Dish segment is presented by Dish. Switch to Dish to get the same bill every month with the 2-year price guarantee. Dish tuned into you. To learn more and sign up today, call 1-844-CALL-DISH or go to dish.com. And then I do have one last story.
One last dish.
So the
dish. Oh, give me one last dish.
So the Nickelodeon actor Dylan Sprouse has called out Jared Leto for hitting on young girls. He tweeted, "Yo, Jared Leto, now that you've slid into the DMs of every female model aged 18 to 25, what would you say your success rate is?"
Oh.
And the Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn also tweeted, he starts at 18 on the internet. So Jared Leto has not responded yet.
Was he joking when he said that? Was this all part of a...
No, it wasn't a...
like Jared Leto has a reputation.
Apparently, James Gunn, the director, he went on Periscope a while ago, trashing Jared Leto, saying he goes after underage, he hits on underage girls.
Wow.
And I guess he saw this tweet and responded to it.
You know that James Gunn and Anthony dated the same girl.
Oh, really?
When she left Anthony, she ended up with him. Thought she was going to end up in his movie. She didn't.
Oh.
So, by the way, James Gunn, people use everything they have. Let's be honest about that. I mean, if I was a fucking basketball player, I'd be like, so you like the game? Were you at the game last night?
Now, is the kid who wrote this, is this the kid who's on Riverdale and he was one of those twins?
I don't know which one's on Riverdale, but I know that they're the twin brothers.
Yeah,
let's just get a picture of him.
What's
his name?
Dylan Sprouse.
So you probably know him best as the Big Daddy boy. But now they're all grown up and they're acting and doing things.
He was the little kid in Big Daddy?
Yeah. Whoa.
He's adorable.
So he
was the stinky kid at school.
So that one I don't think is the Riverdale one. And then his twin brother is on Riverdale as Jughead.
They were also Ross's son on Friends.
Oh yeah, that's right. They were Ross's son.
Dylan
Look at how
Sprouse
cute they
sounds
are.
like a vegetable.
Yeah. Eat your Dylan.
Does this come with a side of Dylan Sprouse?
Our seasonal side is.
I found out that they're recalling all this Dylan Sprouse. People have been shitting and puking themselves to death. Volcano erupted and ash is now raining down, which
Whoa.
I think you should say it's ashing down.
Yeah.
So this thing is getting worse.
Yeah, it's definitely looks so much more intense. Holy shit.
They also said it's spread to 13 more states, which is scary.
No, the mainland?
Yeah. I don't know what the weatherman there is saying, but he's crying pretty bad.
Yeah, he looks
You
pretty
look at
upset.
him, he's like, oh my God.
This isn't good.
Yeah.
Wow. I know that, that kind of plume of the ash and that cloud, that becomes like an issue all over the place. So,
Oh, yeah.
you'll have to see, where
It'll
the
block
wind,
out the sun.
Yeah. where the
And
wind
we're
takes
going to
it.
end up freezing to death on this planet.
Oh.
All because of Trump.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Trump's thing. He
Yeah.
did not seal the volcanoes the way he promised.
It was focused on the wrong wall. We needed a wall in that volcano.
No shit. What about a volcano wall? We should all just run to the White House like they did in The Wizard of Oz, and then he has to come out and explain to us. What does it mean? All right, we're all wrapped up with that. Thank you, Jen.
Jim Tooze has been in the studio for Dish, and Jim's performing at the Village Underground this Saturday, May 19th. ComedyCellar.com for tickets.
I'll be hosting.
Ooh, Village
Yeah.
Underground hosting.
Yeah.
I love that room, though, don't you?
That room's awesome.
Yeah.
I really like it. It feels like the McDougal Street room is great because it's
it's
the original one.
Yeah.
But that Village Underground room is great because they have the band and it's just a little bigger and the seating's kind of tiered and there's just
It
it's
looks,
a nice energy.
Yeah, it looks the way that you thought comedy clubs were going to look. You know
Right,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, it looks like Lenny Bruce could pop in.
Yeah, it feels like a little bit like a road club, like it
Yeah.
could be.
All right, dude. It was so great seeing you again, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great
And,
to have you back.
Welcome back to Bennington. And from Sirius XM Canada, Todd Shapiro's in studio.
Hey guys. Hi.
Good to see you, man.
Todd Shapiro Show airs weekdays at 4 p.m. on Canada Laughs Channel 168. On Twitter, I am Toddy Tickles.
Now, Todd's all invited all of us on his show later today, but you're doing Gail Meets Girls?
I am doing a Gail Meets Girls today.
All right. So, but these guys are invited as well?
Everyone's invited.
All right.
We would love for the whole Bennington team. Gail, do I smell? Is that what it is? Do I reek?
No, it's,
You just have a reputation in the Me Too movement.
yeah. I mean, I don't want to get us in a weird situation.
No, but with that being said, I got my own. It's hashtag Me Jew.
That's nice.
We've been having. It's been years. That one's been for years and years actually.
Oh, yeah, I know. My family always knows where you folks are. We're always feeling bad for Palestine. We're like, what did they do?
Yeah.
Why can't they have their own place?
Yeah, I just think that the world should not have any place except each other. I'm being serious. We should just.
that's really
I really
nice.
believe that. I really do believe that.
Imagine all the people.
It's actually sad what's going on with this world, though, man. Everyone's
Yes.
we talk about this all the time. Everyone gets so offended these
Yes.
days. What's up with that?
Well, it's
sensitive right now.
These are fucking harsh times.
It's like an
I mean,
open wound.
Yes, I'm a big trumpet, so it all works out. I mean, it's working really well for me. Now, you were saying you were with billionaires because you're into the crypto stuff.
Yeah, this has been a really cool week for me. First off, again, thanks for having me and doing the show here. It's so surreal just coming down to New York and all the people coming through the doors here at SiriusXM. I'm sure the novelty for you has worn off. But there's also a conference in town. I think it's actually ended. It probably ended late last night, called Consensus. And Consensus was one of the first cryptocurrency conferences. And literally there was maybe 300-400 people only a couple of years ago. Now it's gone to about 10,000 people. And a lot of them are tech geeks and self-admitted tech geeks. They're just nerds who got into the space and have made billions of dollars. And not an exaggeration. Sometimes people float that number around and it's not true. Donald Trump maybe, but billions of dollars. And then now they're just throwing these parties. They just got Zuckerberg cash to spend. They're just making it rain, flying in Snoop Dogg. He was at One Oak last night, getting bottle service at all the top clubs in New York. And then last night there was also one on a cruise ship, a company by the name of Decentral. He's one of the co-founders of Ethereum, which is the second largest market cap other to Bitcoin in the cryptocurrency world. Yeah. And it was insane. On a cruise ship, technology on every floor, TV screens, DJs, open bar, open drinks, of course. And I think only 3 people died on the boat last night, which was nice. Only 3 people.
Well, let's say I wanted to start my own Bitcoin, right? How do I do it?
So you would get a company that's in the blockchain space looking for blockchain solutions. And if you had an idea for a coin, they call it put it on the white paper. Whatever that idea is, they could put to practice. And then it gets picked up by a exchange. That's the goal. You get it listed, whether it's on a Binance or a Einstein. And I mean, it's a process, but it really can be done. To be honest, I'm working on one. I don't want to disclose it, but I really think it's very brilliant. And the thing is, within the space is there have been a lot of scams. You got to be careful. They call them these ICOs, like IPOs, where they raise money, and people have got hurt. But there's some very legitimate coins out there, and the blockchain space specifically is never going anywhere. This is a massively emerging market that I always tell people quite candidly, just indulge in it. I implore you to go take $100 instead of going for sushi and sake tonight. Just buy a coin. So you lose the money. Who cares? But see how the technology works, because the free market aspect of having control of your own wealth and having, no governments, no banking systems take fees from you or bullshit. And, it is back to unifying everyone. That's what cryptocurrencies will do.
So maybe you can answer this for me, because I overheard a guy talking the other day, and he was outside of this building, and he was like a dude in a suit, and he was taking a very important business call, and he was very serious, and I overheard him saying Bitcoin and talking in Bitcoins, and I was like, oh, I got to know what the hell he's talking about. So as I walked past him, he said, like, and we're going to be able to do the conversion rates and for every platform and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, and then we'll have true arbitrage. Arbitrage? I've never heard this word before in my life. And I was like, what is true arbitrage? And it has something to do with Bitcoin, and I don't know what it means.
I don't know what that means either, but it sounds like he's Dr. Evil.
Yeah. I was like so fascinated by this. I was like, they're talking in words I don't even understand.
A guy the other day walked in, I'm out front having a cigar, and he goes, you have change for a Bitcoin. So I just gave him $40 and he goes, is this it? I don't know. I go, I think this is it.
Well, it's interesting because within the space, a lot of people don't even realize you can obviously buy fractions of Bitcoins. People just assume you have to buy the one Bitcoin that's traded, I think, around 8,000 US right now. But no, you can buy like 0.00001 of a Bitcoin that could be just $40 and get that fraction of it. It's a wild space. And something tells me, though, about that suit guy, the institutions are all like Goldman Sachs and all these douchebags.
Right.
They're trying to figure out how to get in the space right now. But these rich billionaire tech geek dudes I speak of, they are awesome people who want to change the world. That really is their goal. They're the most humble cats. They're they're the type of guys that will help you move luggage if it's in the way. They're not like they're not trust fund baby assholes.
Right.
So there's a nice community there.
So where'd you meet all these folks from your show or?
Yeah, I always explore on our show. Like we just sit and talk. I don't do any prep. Right. I'm sure and we get. What I love, and you guys do the exact same thing, really, is you get comedians, you get fun guys on there, but you explore other things going on, and then the comedians just, do their shit and make it funny. So, like, whether it's legalization of marijuana, which is absolutely massive in Canada, that's going to happen within the next 3 months. That's something I delved into years ago to explore it as it's happening. And Bitcoin, a couple of years ago, I just said, I want to be involved. Like, you go on Reddit, you look at what people are talking about that I would never know to talk about, and then kind of bring that to the forefront, get the experts in, combined with the comedy, and that's what makes it compelling, I think.
Now, Chris, you were into Bitcoins years ago, and you still never moved on it.
All right. So,
you were the first person ever brought it up to me.
All right. So, years ago, there was a story on the Silk Road. That was on the dark net.
That's where you used to get your drugs.
Yeah, exactly. It was a drug eBay, and it was sent to your house. And we pay for this through Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I remember looking, what's a Bitcoin? I looked up, Bitcoin's $4 US at the time, and I said, fuck that. I don't want to fucking buy Bitcoins. And now Bitcoins are worth, $8,000, and I think they were worth like $20,000 in December.
So if you would have taken, let's say, a couple grand and bought your drugs with that, right?
Yes.
Your life would be great.
Yeah, I would have $30 million or something sitting in an account. That's some fucking crypto account. Yeah.
Yes. But how do you get it back? Because eventually you have to get actual money, right?
So you can,
it's fucking useless.
You can, on the exchanges, you can cash right out very easily to US or Canadian dollars. Like, they make that process pretty simple. I mean, I think if you're talking hundreds of millions, that might be a slower process.
Yeah.
But these guys must have a way to, slowly cash out, get some fiat currency, and then obviously they don't want to manipulate the market either by cashing out too much at once. So they got to be careful on that. And then the whole fucked up thing too is the mining of these bitcoins, and I still don't really understand.
I don't get that either.
Yeah, what
Because
does
you
that
have to
mean?
use something physical to do this.
Yeah.
They have their own computers and these special cards and stuff, and they create mining rigs that find a stored number. It's a mathematical equation essentially that you break and that your computer can figure out over time. It uses a ton of electricity, which a lot of conservationists are pissed off about.
Right.
And with that being said, like the traditional mining industry would use way more energy than this industry. But and then you yourself, Ron Bennington, can go and order parts from China, get them delivered, and like not people, like the actual parts, and you could mine your own Bitcoin and make.
That's the part I get really confused
Yeah,
about.
I'm confused.
I don't know what that
I
means.
still don't understand what we're physically talking
There's
about.
like a town in the Pacific Northwest that has like the cheapest electricity in the country, and people look this up.
He just called it electricity.
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 And so a bunch of Bitcoin miners went out there and just had these warehouses full of computers trying to mine this cryptocurrency. Now,
I don't know what that means. I don't.
Yes.
I'm just
But
lost in
is
this.
it true arbitrage? That's what I want to know.
You're the only one who's heard arbitrage.
I'm telling you, he said it confidently.
The easiest analogy is a needle in a haystack. And if you get through enough hay, you're eventually going to find that needle. And once you do it, you own it. You have ownership of that. They release a certain amount of Bitcoin every day. There's an infinite amount. They will wear out at some point. And that's what makes the currency so valuable, is that you can't go and print like the Federal Reserve does more money and get into debt. You just have an exact amount at one point, and that's why the value with more supply, with more demand, should go up, because there's not an endless amount of supply. Wow, I sound like the fuck I know what I'm talking about. It's insane.
I don't know if you do or not. I feel high right now. I literally feel high.
I used to laugh at this stuff so much. I used to, and the more I get into it, the idea, and this is maybe, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, but the idea of how many people across the world have a cell phone but don't have a bank account is astronomical.
I didn't know that.
If you go into third world countries and stuff, they have cell phones, but they don't have money. Now you can have on your phone, you will have your bank account. You have your stored wealth that you can, if you want to give a donation to the Bennington Show, if you have a digital wallet, they can just send you money to your address for funding cuckold shirts or whatever. Like whatever.
Right.
How'd those shirts do, by the way?
They I still have a bunch in the back.
Okay. So it's really fascinating stuff.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, though. At the same time that this is happening, nationalism is big, not just in the United States, but in Europe.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Is that like the old guard holding on, or is there's these two different ideas that are taking place?
Well, there's divides in a lot of things in life we're seeing, I think, right? The extremes. And I think the nationalism is people. I mean, that's the big fear. Will the government come in, ban all the shit, and then just create their own cryptocurrency? That will be the way that people are, my child is 3, will use money one day.
Yeah.
To me, there's no doubt about that. So, I mean, no one really knows where the fuck this stuff is going. And there's a lot of fairy dust out there for sure. But I think that this again, back to a free market in a community, that you want to be a part of, the revolution, or part of the old school thought, which is that nationalism you speak of. You're gonna have to pick a side one day. It's gonna be war. There's gonna be wars on the street, man.
You think there's gonna be civil wars?
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
The divide right now is too unfortunate. It's very sad, actually, what's going on. We all. The problem is, Ron, we all wake up. We used to read the news. We used to know what's going on in the world. Now we wake up. We read about ourselves. That's all people do. They go on their Instagram, they go on their Facebook, they go on their Twitter, they see what likes they got. They don't really know what's going on in the world. Yeah, I think that this divide is very frightening. I think there will be another economic collapse. And to be honest, what I'm starting to hear is they're saying the Bitcoin community will be the one to bail them out this time, not the governments. That's how deep the shit goes. I really sound like I know this.
No, you're out there. I'm good. You're out there with it. Now, Chris, do you agree that civil wars are coming down?
I don't think civil wars are coming down, because I think Bitcoin's tied into regular, actual cash money too much. Because when
but we're talking about the two philosophies that seem like they're happening at the same time. That we have more people that are straight nationalism, and more people that are feeling like Todd. We're like, hey, let's just open everything up. People are people. Doesn't matter.
I think the nationalists are going to win out. I don't think they'll allow a civil war to happen. That's my opinion.
Based on what though?
I think that the people who want the open market, or it's too fringe, and that I think the nationalists won't let it happen.
Like military state stuff.
I can see that happening. Yes, that becomes a military state.
I don't know about that, man. In America, that seems further against everything that we were based on than anything else to me.
It does, yeah. It definitely does.
And I don't think that the military is all that good at holding ground. They're good at invading ground, but they've never been able to hold ground anywhere.
I also go back and forth through thinking that people are so asleep and sleepwalking through everything that's going on with the world, and then I turn around and go, but then they're so enraged and people are coming forward. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we're so reactionary right now. You know, everything changes in a moment. Like, sometimes it feels like, oh, we just let things happen to us. And then other times I feel like, this country is being torn apart, and our politics and our emotions are so tied in together. So it's weird. It's just every day.
Well, a lot of that has to do with the internet too. It used to be, let's say during the Vietnam War, if you were against it, there were meetings that you went to in your town and you met with other people and you're like, hey, what are we going to do? And now these things, because of the internet, they just spark up.
Yeah.
So instead of these slow, gradual things, there's just 100,000 people. But then they're not there the next day.
Not to sound like an asshole, but they're pussies. You know, people who protest these days you're not going out on the front lines and protesting. You're doing it to validate your own personal opinion without getting off your ass. You're doing it not really by making a difference. If you're just doing it on Facebook, sure, it's the trendy thing of the day, but where will it be in 6 months if you really want to make change? You want, revolutions. We've seen them where guys light themselves on fire to prove a point, to end whatever is going on in some third world country with dictatorships and stuff.
Right.
So, I think American people are, and Canada as well, North American culture, this kind of, we're the old joke, they're spending $15 on avocado toast and blowing all their money and not thinking about the future. They are sleepwalking through the ability to sit. We were taught to save, man. Like, if I didn't save everything or shut off lights when I left the house, like my dad, gave me the hand. Like, we had to make sure that we're taking care of our future and our children's future. And I'm worried that people aren't doing that now. And that's why I think there's going to be mass hysteria one day.
You think we should be hitting more children? Is that what you're saying?
I'm
like your dad?
fully condoning abuse. Yeah.
So funny. People always go back to that. Like, I would get punched in the face. You hit your kids? No.
I think I just lost my job on serious. Can't say stuff like that anymore. People take it seriously.
Hey, you guys aren't going to Montreal this year?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah.
If we don't go, I'm going to make sure that I'll just get myself out there.
Yeah.
So I love it out there.
Yeah, that's the way I think of you guys, though. I would always see you there. That's where I met all you guys.
Yeah, listen, it's always so surreal for me popping on your show. Like, I've always been such a fan of radio, guys, and the history of it and everything you've done. And the thing now, though, I hear, and it's funny you mentioned Montreal, is Ron Bennington is killing the comedy clubs.
You're hearing that from people, huh?
I'm not. When I told a few people I'm going on Bennington's show, they're like, he is killing. They were like, Matt, he's killing it. You're killing it.
Give me the names of some of these people.
Judah Friedlander said you're killing it.
Yeah, I just think it's
Godfrey.
Yeah, but what they don't understand is how easy it is. They try to let on, but all you do, and you know this, you just do radio, but on stage. See, the same kind of funny stuff that we say.
I need you to. I get this filter on a stage. I've tried it, and I really tense up, and it's so obvious how anxious and nervous I am.
Right.
That it doesn't translate into warming up to an audience, and it's. Yeah. I get weird. I get really uncomfortably weird. So but like, have you got more comfortable with age as well? Like, no,
it's just I've always just been comfortable.
You've just been good.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a very easy thing to do. You just go up on stage, you talk about things that are funny, and people start laughing. And then you're like, wow, look how the time is really going by. I got some rough news. Godfrey's next. So that's going to... by the way, we did a thing with Judah in Moon Tower that was maybe one of the most fun we've ever had, where we act like he was really running for president.
And we
set up the whole thing. Hey, Vita, what happened with the ice cream social?
Jen has sent the menu over to us. Chris has a picture of the menu.
Why would it take so long? There's not a menu for ice cream. You get the ice cream. The ice cream's been out there for a half an hour.
Yes, it has. There's strawberry cheesecake, chip off the dough block, give me some more, caramel almond brittle, Americone Dream, and salted caramel blondie. No
Yeah, but why does it take so long? You know what you do? You just bring in ice cream for people. You were going to read something about Todd.
By the way, I was just going to say, is the salted caramel blondie? That's like another thing entirely where I come from. That is I'm offended by that statement.
Well, what's that?
On the no.
Oh, really? It's jizzing on the ice cream? Now I feel like I want to have that.
Todd Shapiro's in studio. The Todd Shapiro Show airs weekdays at 4 p.m. on Canada Laughs, channel 168. On Twitter, I am Toddy Tickles.
So, Vito, I want one of the jerk-offs. What do you have, Gail?
What was the first one that sounded like it was sweet?
The first one was the strawberry cheesecake.
That's what I want.
Of the jerk-off blondie? Todd,
yeah, we'll double penetrate that one.
Yeah.
Another jerk off blondie.
This is our team, though. They cannot move. There's a frozen thing that takes place. It's like, we've got a menu. It's 45 minutes. We're into this. Where's Harry at? Is he coming in?
He's not signed in yet.
Do you know him? What's his full name?
Harry Kondabolu.
He's the guy who did the documentary about Apu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And he raised obviously concern with is that a stereotypical character? That's fascinating. That's
it is fascinating, and they just backhanded him. Yeah.
They
were just
swatted
like,
it off.
"Stop it."
Yeah.
So,
what do you think about that?
Well, you know what? I mean, until people bring things up to you, you never really know, right? So I never once considered it.
Right.
Because, I'm a white guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very hard for us to say until someone points
That's
it out.
kind of how I felt about the documentary. Is like it was interesting to hear these people's perspectives, particularly because he focused on comedians saying like, "Hey, this isn't funny, and here's why we don't think it's funny."
Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't find it offensive because I'm white, so I'm obviously not in a position to go, does that offend me? Well, it's not meant. It would never offend me because why would it?
And I think to add to that, at least, when I grew up, we grew up with really, it was very diverse where I came from. Like, Chinese, black guys, like South Asian guys.
Sorry to hear that.
And yeah, it was, and we just all really chirped, roasted each other. Chirp's a Canadian term. We chirped each other. All we did was chirp each other. And a lot of it was lowest common denominator jokes, all the stereotypes. So I never knew to grow up with that being an offensive thing. And now it's very different, and I understand it, but it's also hard for me to switch my opinion on it.
No, it's always hard for you to switch anything that's already baked in.
Right.
That's the whole thing about aging is it's very difficult for you to go, oh, I've learned this behavior, and it's time for me to relearn it.
Right. I mean, if you even see... if you watch the documentary, Harry speaks to his parents, and they're just like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like it also change comes with a younger generation anyway. You know what I mean?
Yes, and which is important because that's evolution.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Aaron Berg was one of your guys too. Yeah. Berg was on my show. Did you hear about the controversy he created with the White Guys Matter?
Yeah.
So that thing sort of blew up on my show because there was like a very big feminist comic who came in, and I mean, I'm not sure if you heard it at all, but Aaron basically called her the cancer of comedy, the ISIS of comedy, and said like, our intentions are to make people laugh, to never offend. Please don't censor jokes. And it was an interesting side of it that a lot of it is intent too, right?
Right, it is, but and then Berg does a character called ISIS faggot, right? You're doing that to shock. You're doing that to do that.
Yeah.
So you can't be like, I was a shock jock, and I wasn't like, hey, how come I can't say it? Like, I knew I was pushing things on purpose.
I would agree with that a lot. That I would say that there is certain type of comedy that the point of the comedy is to push the envelope and to be offensive, but then you can't be shocked when people are offended, and then that's part of the appeal of your comedy, right? It's like to say like, hey, my comedy's dangerous, but then you can't get upset that other people say, hey, that's dangerous, and you say, no, it's not.
If anything, it's kind of a disclaimer. to let the audience know what you're
Yeah.
walking into. So now the accountability is on you. I almost prefer that than to going into a comedy club where you don't, typical nights where you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And who knows? You might be going in there depressed one day. You're feeling terrible. You think a laugh's going to pick you up, and then you just get one of those comics who picks on you, rips into you. That might be more harmful because you didn't really expect that going into it. So sometimes these shows that are catering and offensive and shocking, that might be better because you'll get the audience that can accept it. So I think I don't know. To me, it's like an R rating or on a movie.
Yes, but censorship, is never a good thing to say like, oh, this person shouldn't be allowed to say this or this person shouldn't be allowed to speak. But then people's reaction to what people say is also part of being open. Like, you know what I mean? To say like, oh, you are so offended by things. That's part of
Yeah, I mean that's why you offend. See, the thing is, if you're going to do that, is there a reason that you're offending people?
Right.
I mean, if you go back to Lenny Bruce, he was basically saying, I set out to offend you, and this is why. This is what you're to get out of it. But there's no, you can't say I'm an offensive comic, and then hey, why are you offended?
And then for people watching the comedy, just don't support it. If you don't like it, don't. And that's the thing I'm surprised by. They'd rather go and publicize it by complaining about it online and actually giving them the attention.
Yeah.
I would things I don't like, and to be honest, I've told Berg I don't like that dropping that F word. I don't even like saying it, to be honest. And I've told him I don't condone that. Like he'll come on my show and I say I'll just. It doesn't mean I would want to limit him from doing it though. I just don't condone.
But when you were younger, did you use that word?
Yeah, man. Playing
we all did.
Look at all the movies we grew up with.
Yeah.
I know you can remember, like the Adam Sandler movies, the things like that. There's something about Mary. Like there's language even in those movies you couldn't do today.
Well, we'll pick this up with Harry. He's here now. Go ahead,
Hurry Kondabolu, his new special, Warn Your Relatives, is streaming now on Netflix. Go to hurrykondabolu.com for all of Hurry Kondabolu's in studio. His new special, Warn Your Relatives, is streaming now on Netflix. And the Kondabolu Brothers podcast is available on iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher. And Todd Shapiro's in with us. The Todd Shapiro Show airs weekdays 4 p.m. Canada Laughs 168 on Sirius XM.
Good to see you again, buddy. How's everything?
Things are good. How are you?
Well, since the last time we saw you, the Simpsons have acknowledged your documentary.
Ah, brother, yeah.
Yeah. And I would say it was somewhat of a backhand that they gave you. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of mean-spirited. It wasn't Simpsons-like.
Yeah.
Plus, they kind of threw Lisa Simpson under the bus. I'm like, Lisa wouldn't say that. She kind of, well, she said something about political correctness, like things that were once lauded and well received are now politically incorrect. What can you do? And it's like, Lisa wouldn't say that,
right?
Lisa's the one that's going to be.
Not even the character.
No,
she's actually passive aggressive. People don't know that.
A lot more than we thought.
Yeah.
Well, we were just talking about this with Todd before you came. It's like the way life does change and society does change.
Yeah.
And then it's up to you to at least discuss it, though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I was surprised they even kind of, first of all, it was clear they hadn't seen the documentary because they kind of just fed into whatever arguments were on the internet from other people who didn't see the documentary. So fine, and I think the other thing that kind of surprised me was that I made a documentary for a cable network, and they're the Simpsons. So I wasn't trying to troll them because it was a heartfelt documentary. But if I was trying to troll them, I just won. Like, you're not supposed to respond to me.
Right.
That's the worst. I mean, it was just like the fragility of egos. I'm like, are you guys kidding me? You're supposed to be an institution. This should not be an issue. So either address it or don't, but don't just do that. Like, be clever or let it go. I mean, one thing that I thought was telling is Hank Azaria was on Colbert and he was talking about like, they asked him, like, did you like what The Simpsons did? And he's like, he didn't know that was going to happen because it wasn't in the script. It was put in after. So to me, it's like, okay, so you wrote a script and then like Al Jean or someone was like butthurt by the whole thing. So they added a scene that doesn't even have Apu in it other than a picture. They added a scene to like insult the film or the people who felt that way. And it's like, what's the point of that? Like,
yeah.
I mean, it was kind of cool for them because they got written about all over the place for like a month. So, I mean, as a fan of the show, I'm happy I got to help. But yeah, the whole thing's so weird, man. Yeah.
Well, we were even talking about comedy and offending people. And like we've always had, comics that are offensive. But then you can't turn around and be like, oh, people How did you get offended? You are an offensive comic.
Right.
you
Well,
know?
well, also, I think that offense is not one particular thing. Like I have people walk out.
Mm-hmm.
I have people that are pissed. I have people who want their money back. It's just a different set of people. So to me, like, I have no issue with offense. To me, it's like, all right, offend people, but when people say something back, you can't say, well, it was just a joke. Don't be a coward about it. Like, I hate the comics who basically say it's funny because it's true. That people relate to it, and then say it was just a joke. Like, oh, come on, take a stand. Like Patrice O'Neill, like Patrice to me, like had a very different perspective. I don't agree with his points of view, but he was funny to me because I know he meant it.
Yes.
He was that miserable.
Yeah.
Like that was totally him. He would never back off. That was him off stage and on stage, and that was his perspective. He would never say it's just a joke. Nah, I don't care. That's what I think. And to me, there's respect in that.
Yeah.
And that comes in long form conversation. That comes in healthy debates. And I think that's the bigger thing. People are so afraid to have a healthy debate and maybe even find compromise, God forbid.
Yeah.
Maybe try to understand each other's side and find compromise. And that people just make a point. It's not educated. They don't back it up with anything. It's just their opinion. And really, it's like a headline and they think that's acceptable.
You know what it is? People argue online the way my father argues in real life, which is he just repeats the same thing over and over until I tap out. So I feel like that's what it is. Yeah.
Well, I really do think that the scariest thing about aging is that you learn things and they have no use now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you're like, no, I'm telling you, football is great. And they're like, what about the head injuries? And you're like, football. Like we've always done. You just don't want any new information. That's why when I hear Bitcoin, I just start to glaze over. Like, huh?
We had a huge talk earlier, but one of the things I repeat it a lot to my audience there, but I always say we've really come full circle. The earliest form of communication was cave drawings, right?
Oh, that's funny.
And now it's emoticons. I mean, like what a waste of every language. My grandmother knew 5 languages. What a waste of her fucking life.
I know.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
That is funny, though, that language is the initial thing that divided us. Language and whatever religious tweaks that we've had.
That is really fun. Like I've valued writing as long as I can remember, and the first chance I get to be like, there's got to be an emoji for that. There it is. Yeah, that says everything I want to say.
Tom Wolfe died the other day, and people don't remember how important he was, and how being a novelist in the United States was as important thing as you can do. And now none of them. I mean, one thing Fahrenheit got wrong was that we would care when they burned books, because we just don't care.
Yeah.
That just hit me in the gut. That's
It's really
right.
sad.
That's right.
I think the solution is you need to write books where pages only have 280 characters. And then
That's
you flip it.
hilarious.
I think
Right,
that's
right.
how we have to do it.
Like whenever people publish books of tweets, I'm like, oh, you mean like what like paragraphs were and pages said? Okay, all right. But it's no, man, it's frustrating, and I mean, even the subtlety of language is lost in the way we communicate, like through text. Like, I hate the fact that sarcasm gets lost. Like, you need an emoji to express sarcasm. Like, what? Are you kidding me? They're selling us sarcasm. We just need italics. I mean, that's all we really need. But like,
fucking Siri screws it up every time. She hasn't figured out the tone at all.
Oh, that's funny.
Hurry Kondabolu and Todd Shapiro are in studio. Hurry's new special, Warn Your Relatives, is streaming now on Netflix, and the Kondabolu Brothers podcast is available on iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher. And the Todd Shapiro Show airs weekdays at 4 p.m. on Canada Laughs, channel 168.
Well, what changed things more than Netflix? Isn't it amazing how quick everyone just moved into that?
Yes. It's because it's exactly what people wanted, just the ability to choose what they want to watch whenever they want to watch it, but at the same time have it curated so it was in one place.
Yeah.
Like that balance is exactly what people wanted, because the internet, you could find what you wanted, but it took forever to find it.
Right.
Not everything you wanted was on there. And TV, it's like, okay, we have all these great shows, but I gotta wait. It's perfect. What it's done for comedy is
It's
unbelievable.
Well, you know, last night I went to visit a friend who was having like an engagement party.
Yeah.
And so there was a bunch of women there who I hadn't seen since I've been pregnant. And I was 3 different women came up to me who are not comedy fans, who have never had any interest or opinion before this, and asked me if I saw the new Ali Wong special
That's
and how much
wild.
they loved it. And that's 3 women who were not watching comedy, and then one of them even said, like, I'm really like into watching specials on Netflix now,
Yeah.
so every time there's a new comedy special, because they were it was just given to them, packaged to them specifically, and then they're like, oh, I like comedy, which
Yes.
they did not realize. These are people who would have ended up in a club.
And they're seeing comedy the way it's supposed to be, which is long form with an hour, and not just like 5-minute chunks on late night shows. So when you go to the club or when you go to see the comic, you're surprised how like, hey, it's not all polished. How come it's so long?
Yeah.
Like you're actually like the casual fan didn't take in hours of stand up before, right? Like the people who really liked stand up would like get a record or see the special. This is actually the best thing that could happen for comics who are building an hour.
The other thing I always try to remind people, though, if you just know comedy through Netflix specials, make sure you then do follow up and go to a club, because there's nothing about like excitement and adrenaline and
Yes,
energy.
yes.
And also, you're still kind of watching that on your phone and talking, being distracted on Netflix. So you're not really getting the experience. I try to remind people that you get the experience.
One of the women who was saying how much she loved Ali's special and like, oh, she loves that another one came out. She was saying like, I love putting on a comedy special because it's just like low commitment, like you can just do other stuff. And I was just like, that would be like so hurtful to a comedian. I'm like,
it was just my whole career to get here, but whatever. My career's in the background.
Yeah, she's just like, you can play a game while you watch it or read the news. It doesn't really matter.
That's
I'm like,
horrifying.
Yeah, that's sad, but I guess it's good you're watching.
But you know what's funny about Ali Wong's first special? I watched that, was blown away. Like, I don't know how far back and I was saying to people, I go, have you seen, this girl? And they're like, yeah. She's lived a mile away from you for the last 10 years. You could have seen her a million times. And that's that weird thing about how do you get that one thing in front of people, even people that are fairly aware and looking for stuff. Like people are always saying to me, oh, there's great rock and roll out there. You just got to look for it. I go, I don't know how much time I have to look for it. Can you bring it? To me somehow.
I'm so happy for Ali. Like Ali, it's funny. Me and Mulaney both were at the HBO festival in Aspen in 2007 when they used to discover people there. And I've known Ali for just as long, if not a little bit longer. So it's kind of surreal that all of us have our specials out this week. And Ali, from the get-go, everyone knew she was going to be famous.
Yeah.
Like in San Francisco, she started there. She's from there. Within the first year, everyone was like, oh yeah, Ali's going to be famous because her work ethic was unparalleled. She was filling up like that club within like a year. Like the Punchline's a huge club in San Francisco, but just she's from there. She's funny. She's quick. She never stopped working. Like she earned every ounce of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are there comics who haven't?
There are, well, we all have names.
Sitcom or whatever. You know what I mean? There are people that go out. And, Pauly Shore even told me this years ago. He said he got a theater tour because he was on MTV, but he didn't even know how to fill that time. He would just run through the audience and, try to, what do I do?
Yeah,
how do I fill the time?
Yeah.
You could get that success too early when you're not ready or not polished. Or...
Yeah, I think if you're doing an hour and you have 35 minutes great material, that's a trouble sometimes.
Right.
You're like following something, you're like, ooh.
Well, that's a money move. That's like a money or ego. Like, look, man, I could have released this years ago. I had offers years ago, but I'm like, I don't want to. You know what I mean? Because this is the one that's going to count, and I don't want that to be. So I did audio, and I love audio, and I grew up listening more than watching specials.
Right.
I loved imagining it more because it's like if a joke's strong enough, you don't even need the visual, which is unbelievable. So I didn't want to just put something out that wasn't ready and that couldn't have some impact. And especially after watching Ali's first special and other folks who've done really well because of their specials, it's like you release something that's timely and it has impact. That's a big career-defining thing.
Right, it is. And there is something romantic about just listening and letting yourself go. Like I remember listening to Pryor and Carlin, and I thought that the audience was hip. I'm like, I don't know who these people are, but if I could one day be one of those people who finds out how to get into something like this, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember Chappelle's first special, Killing Him Softly, the one that like HBO somehow let go of, which I'm still shocked. Showtime picked it up. But I didn't know it was a TV special. I just thought it was an album. So I listened to it for like 3 years just on the same burnt CD over and over again. And it was so funny. And once I saw it for real, like I actually watched it, I was so disappointed because the facial expressions weren't the ones I thought in my head forever. Or, oh, that was what he was trying to do. Like, he's so funny that just the words and the imagining him, you can't live up to what you're imagining.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that it makes you, as an audience person, do your own creative work.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're thinking, and that was great about a novel.
Yeah.
But when you're visually looking at something, it's there. And a lot of times there's sweeping camera moves that,
Yeah.
you know, I think they've made a lot of mistakes with TV specials over the years. I don't want to be in the back of the theater and then suddenly.
Yeah.
What about those like the up close laughing shots of people? You're like, those, I finally, well, I don't want to check out this guy's nose hair.
That's one thing. Bobcat Goldthwait directed mine, and that was one thing from the get-go. He's like, we're not going to do that.
Good.
Like, he's like, we don't need to influence the audience. If the joke is good, they'll laugh. Like, if they like it, they like it. It does not matter. So we're not going to try to manipulate. No, we're not going to manipulate them. Like, just do your job, and we'll handle it from there.
If you think of the amount of people who started from stand-up and did something, Bobcat is going to be at the top of your list for how his films are so brilliant.
Yeah.
Just so incredibly brilliant. And I think because his name is Bobcat, you know what I mean? Like, he's not going to get thrown in with those other people, but you know, because, you know, he did that screaming thing as a kid. But he's so genius.
In so many different forms. Like the documentary about Barry is incredible.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Plus, I mean, obviously his feature lengths. He does great television. He has something coming out with True.
Yeah.
He his stand-up, obviously legendary. He's a great writer. I mean, in terms of, as a stand-up comic getting directed by him, it's like, oh, this is the jackpot.
Right.
Like somebody who's completely relatable, who understands everything, is a legend but doesn't have the ego of one.
No, I don't know how he does the regular guy thing.
Yeah.
Because he was like 19 when they put him on the
and he was
Tonight Show.
larger than life. So the idea of he's subdued is like freaky. Because as a kid, it's like, well, this guy being calm doesn't seem funny.
How did that come about for you? For like
getting Bobcat?
Yeah.
Originally, when we were making that Apu documentary, and I also had a TV pilot with True, like I asked him to do it, and he had said yes. Like we had met, he'd liked my stuff, and then he had another deal come through that was more pressing, and I'm like, I got it, you know. So when the special came about, like he was obviously one of the top choices, and I just texted him. I'm like, hey man, are you free in December? I really want to do this Netflix special. I want you to direct. And he's like, yeah, and that was it. That's the crazy thing, right? It comes down to a text sometimes when you get to a certain point.
He lost his leverage.
All right, so great to see you again,
Great
man.
to see you, man.
Congratulations.
Absolutely, thank you.
congrats.
Thank you.
Hurry Kondabolu's been in studio. His new special, Warn Your Relatives, is streaming now on Netflix, and the Kondabolu Brothers podcast is on iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher. And Todd Shapiro's been in studio. The Todd Shapiro Show airs weekdays at 4 p.m. on Canada Laughs, channel 168.
And we're going to meet you at 4:30
Yeah,
today?
whenever you want to come down.
Yeah.
Anyone come down. We look forward to it.
All right, great.
Just hang out.
All right, thanks so much, guys.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll see you again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!